This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with all the latest news, and join our Discord community to chat with players and fellow listeners. The Esoteric Order broadcasts from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We recognize these episodes are produced on the traditional territory of the Tewa-speaking Pueblo peoples, and we acknowledge their community, their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Great Game, a Castle Falkenstein campaign, with David Larkins as the host. Now that we've got our introductions out of the way.
I know. Can we? Yeah, hurry up. Although I feel like now, like Grizzly Grant's last scene is gonna be him like freeze frame thumbs up with lowrider.
Better be. Oh man!
Everyone looks at each other. It's like, is that how it ended? Really? Is that?
Feels like, weirdly off brand.
Oh my god, that's how it ended.
It's like the last season of Game of Thrones. Really kind of
Who wrote
ruined everything that came before.
My god, yeah. Now it's gotta happen.
You just have to freeze frame it and then have the text, like, where they ended up.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. The Animal House ending.
Right,
Totally,
exactly,
yeah.
Grizzly Grant returned to America, where he was ironically mauled to death by a grizzly.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Okay, so speaking of picking up and freeze frames and whatnot, we sort of left off on a bit of a freeze frame with you all having just arrived in late summer of, I believe I said 1869, correct? Mm-hmm. And sounds about right. We'll go with that. Having gotten to more or less where you asked the time traveler to take you, and so there is the matter of the search for Dracula's gold to be dealt with. But first of all, in order to explain the absence of one of our players tonight, Jade went ahead and sent me directions. So, as you are all stepping out of the time machine, Brexta is the last one to be debarking apart from the time traveler, at which point she loses her balance, falls backwards, knocking into the time traveler, who then is jolted forward and hits the time crystal control on like super fast forward mode, and the two of them immediately disappear, going God only knows where into the far future.
That is so Brexta.
Yeah, I mean, she fell, but I have a feeling she didn't. So
yeah, fairies aren't really known for tripping.
Did she tie her own shoelaces together?
Oh, the irony! It was very crowded on that sleigh, so you probably thought it was somebody else's shoes.
Oops, future. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame her.
All right. So, Now, as I believe we established, the time machine can travel through time, but not space. So you are technically, pretty far from Transylvania still. You're back on the Isle of Arran, 2 years before you arrived there in your current, timeline, your current continuity. So, all yours. How do you want to go about this? I'll just say one last thing. You do have the map still where the various treasure locations were marked, so you do know where the treasure is.
And then
you don't have to go to Grubb's Tavern to find that out.
What was our timeline for when the witch fire would be appearing and stuff?
So the witch fire appears in April, but since you have the locations marked already, you don't need to wait for that. You just needed to get to a time where the gold was still there.
Where it was still there.
Yeah.
We had talked about a few different options for travel, and I know I had offered airship, much to Grizzly Grant's amusement and delight.
That's right.
Since my brothers are in that field.
That's right. Everyone's still okay with airship?
Yeah, well,
we need something.
Yeah, we need something, and
because gold is fucking heavy.
Good point.
I think airship's probably the most direct route, right?
Yeah, we figured it was the fastest.
What happened with? Okay, so I remember I got shredded. Did any good come from my magic ever?
Interesting that you bring that up. I was thinking about that after the last session. I'm like, I love the tarot variant for the fortune deck. Not sure it's a great one for the sorcery deck unless you really are dead set on magic just constantly turning out some way other than what you intended. Because I think maybe that first time when you created the gun out of the roof of the cabin, but
that's true. Yeah. I peaked episode 1. Is what just
it's been downhill ever since.
I feel like the tarot deck makes the most sense. Like if you're using magic in an inherently like riskier than normal way, like you're having to hurry it or you're doing something outside your normal sphere or something. But otherwise, it's just like maybe, but probably not.
Probably not.
True. Probably not. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it's not you. It's not your fault. There's no.
I feel like it's kind of my fault, but I just wanted to make sure that like nothing, like if I forgot something last time, that's like, oh no, Grizzly actually did something awesome, or like we have this magical bonus or whatever. Like because I remember we were trying to transform Haas, but
yeah.
To be fair, my disguise, which I still have, did work for the thing we wanted it to work for.
That is true.
But at what cost?
Haas is very satisfied with whatever it is that you accomplished.
That's true. Yeah. Whatever I did, we still don't know what exactly happened to Haas's brain. But so far he seems better off. So
they stole Haas's brain.
That's right. Well, he's the man who knew too much. So.
Yeah. All right. So Grant is willing to overcome his fear of highfalutin technology and get on board one of these here airships.
Yeah.
And the arrangements are made. Cables are sent. Do you want to depart from the mainland, or do you want to like introduce yourselves to Laird McElroy, or what do you want to do while you're waiting for an airship to come get you?
Yeah, that is interesting because shut up, chair. Because we don't have a lot of instructions about dealing with them and how much they would know and everything. Like, did the Banshee figure out how to go back in time and tell them that she was helping us do a thing? Probably not.
Yeah, we didn't really get like the rundown of what not to do, right? He just said, "Have fun, bye."
Yeah, have fun in the time stream.
Like, do we not meet ourselves? Do we not meet other people we met later. Because
Yeah,
Right.
especially since Brexta time napped him. Now we don't know it all.
Yeah, maybe he was gonna tell us. Maybe he had a whole like pamphlet to hand us, and then
Well, I mean, to be fair, Astrid doesn't have much to worry about because Astrid doesn't look like Astrid.
That's true.
In fact, Astrid, you could probably ruin your rival's life right now.
Ooh.
Well, I could also ruin my alternate timeline self's life as well.
oh,
That's
we're,
true.
we're definitely going through February.
Yeah.
Yep. This is going to be an 18-part adventure entertainment.
It's your fault you asked us what we wanted to do instead of just letting us have our adventure.
God damn it. All right. You know what? Fuck it. You're at the front door of Dracula's castle.
Now
Do you
we're
walk
talking.
in or not?
Yeah, I've got my 10-foot pole.
Yeah. I'm just
obviously-
going to use the curse of Strahd maps and just wing it from this point out.
Sick. I shouldn't have bought these war dogs.
Yes, the war dog.
That was my first D&D character ever when I was like, what, Dave, 13,
Yeah.
14, and I blew all my money on war dogs. And I went to a dungeon and the war dogs like were and attracted a bunch of like monsters and
That's amazing.
Actually, I hate to contradict you on that, but that was actually after you'd been playing D&D for years, and then you spent all your money on war dogs and forgot to buy lighting equipment, and so you were devoured by an Umber Hulk in the dark.
How
Oh
dare
my
you, Dave?
God.
How dare you tell the truth?
So what you're saying was it wasn't an amateur night. It was
No, Umber.
No,
it was the pro move.
it was the pro. Your first D&D character, you got a hireling, and you forced him to go ahead of you so he'd set off all the traps, and he set off a fireball trap and got incinerated. And then
So my strategy actually devolved over time.
It did. It did actually. And then you tried to hire a wizard to resurrect him, but all you could afford was reincarnation. So
Wow.
What
This is what
random roles did you get for that?
I think we kept rolling until we got something that we liked, and it was troll. So
That's a good one.
yeah.
Amazing memory, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's Dave is my memory, obviously.
I'm
I'm
your
like, that
cloud.
happened when I was 13. It was like, dude, that was like 3 months ago. But-
No, that's what made the
Last
War Dog thing so
session of-
memorable, was because it was like you really should have known better. It was like, what the fuck were you thinking?
cool. War dogs are cool. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
war dogs. I mean,
So sorry for the derail.
No,
So
it's
Lord McElroy, I would say he didn't recognize us when we arrived at the
Right.
castle. He wasn't like,
Right.
"Hey, you people that I've never met before." It was
Right.
genuine. So I would say we probably should avoid him, or maybe we already did avoid him. If that's how this whole time thing works, I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, I would think like we know we have this mission. We'd probably just get to it.
I mean,
Especially with being suddenly left by our traveling companions.
yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah. It's probably for the best that we just keep our heads down and try not to run into anybody. I mean, as far as we know, I mean, this is Kenny's interpretation. Probably not Grizzly's because he's probably freaking the fuck out. But since McElroy didn't recognize us, there's no way we came in contact with him, right? He wouldn't have been
Not
like,
yet.
that's right. I mean, but if we do, it would
It
have.
depends. Yeah, it depends on what kind of time stream we're dealing with here.
Right.
Are we dealing with a
Is this
a
Back to the
solid time
Future?
stream, right? Or are we dealing with Back to the Future time stream, where you can, your mom falls in love with you, and then you start getting erased from existence. Like,
Right. We should. Well, we can't time travel back to 1995 or whatever when Back to the Future comes out to understand these analogies.
Well, that's probably where Brexta went, so
Yeah.
now she'll have one up on us and
That's
understand
right.
what's happening.
Rex is like, see, you guys thought you were in a Back to the Future timeline, but you're not. You're in a solid one. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right. Well, yeah, I guess I'm going to defer to Astrid and be like, let's get your brothers involved here if we can. And
Yeah, I would assume that would mean going to the ferry and then getting back to somewhere where we could actually get communication.
also, Astrid, you don't look like Astrid. Are your brothers going to be like, who are you?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's
Do
I
I
feel like Astrid's pretty close to her family based on my background.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably, in the months since that occurred, have talked to them about it. They probably haven't seen it in person,
Right.
but they probably know that some sort of techno-magical mishap has changed my form.
But this is
Sure.
2 years prior, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. So they wouldn't know in this timeline. Oh, time travel.
Yeah.
Time
So-
travel.
We're really only left with one choice, and
No,
that's
so I can-
to magically change you back.
Oh
We
no.
could try.
Or we could you could pretend to be Bernadette, because wasn't Bernadette allied with Lord Dyer, and he has an airship.
That's true. We could use the evil airship to go take the gold that he wants to have anyway.
Yeah, but if we
But didn't he use the gold to fund the airship?
Yes, he did.
No,
Oh,
he doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
Time travel. So,
Also,
no, here's
well,
what
wait.
you
you
could
and
do.
Bernadette used to be friends, didn't
Yeah,
you? And
we-
that's
I used
why
to
you're
be
such
friends with
bitter
Bernadette.
rivals. So
Um,
at this point, would you
but
have
if-
been friends?
So I can write a letter or telegram or whatever exists to my brothers. And I could be like, yo, bros, I totally need this airship for my friends. This blonde lady that's totally not my worst enemy, and also these other people. And then they'll be like, okay, because we're totally Swedish. And then they'll send us an airship to use.
but
That checks out.
I mean, well, wait a minute. If
He's just desperate to magic her up, man.
if well, I need a character arc, guys.
I need one. I need a win. I need a win.
I need a
That's
win.
my thing, okay.
I need a win today. But so
While we're waiting for the ferry, you can try to use your magic on me and see what happens.
okay, fair.
I'm fine with it.
But if we steal the gold from the guy who buys the airship, he can't buy the airship.
Yeah,
And
that's
that-
the whole point. We're getting the
Right.
gold before he can even do it to begin with, and then we're bringing it back to the Banshee so she can do her spooky stuff on it,
What?
and then the Steam Lords get all mad.
Right, but if we buy the airship, he doesn't get it. That means we don't become a team.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Please
time travel.
recall back to the beginning of
Yeah.
last week's session.
Yeah,
we went
were,
over that.
We were made a team anyway.
Oh, okay,
It's
fair.
gonna happen.
You're right. Look at that. Continuity solved.
Hey, so technically we already won. So good.
That's
job,
true.
everybody.
Good
well,
game.
yeah. All right. Good night. This has
Wait.
been a really fun game.
I need one more
Wow, that
spell.
was easy, Dave.
We did it.
Wow, Dave. Pro gamer moves over here.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna try to cast a spell on Astrid.
Because that's how we start every session now.
So anyway,
All right.
I started blasting.
So anyway, I started casting.
Yeah,
On a related meme to that, I saw a tweet the other day where somebody's like, I asked my 7-year-old if they knew who Leroy Jenkins was. And they go, yeah, that was something from back when World of Warcraft was popular.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, in the old times.
In the
Yeah.
olden
World of
times.
In the
It's
before
popular.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. If World of Warcraft was a person, it could legally drive.
That's crazy.
Think
Yeah.
about that shit.
Mm-mm.
I know.
Mm-mm.
I was selling computers when World of Warcraft came out. Every day, people come in and be like, "I want a computer that runs World of Warcraft." I'm like, "Have you considered a toaster?" Because that's what it was like back then. Anyways,
Damn.
what do we?
All right.
What do we? I'm gonna try to fix Rainy. I'm gonna run Astrid.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't fix me in real life. It's too far. Too far.
I don't
down.
want
You
to.
can just fix Astrid.
Not our
I don't-
job.
First of all, how dare you? Second of
I don't want to fix Astrid. Oh, wait, good lord, here we are. All right, David, just
Roll the tape. Roll
Just
the
don't-
goddamn tape.
play me off.
Throw
Play
some
me out of
cards
here.
on the table.
Just
see
slam
what
some
happens.
cards down.
Okay.
Oh, that major arcana.
I have to.
Oh my god.
Do I turn into a war dog? That's the question.
Well, hopefully the Isle of Iron
Cool.
doesn't stink like Atlantis or something. You know, that would be, that'd be unfortunate. All right, so let's see here. Shape of the unknown form. That's right. Okay, so 16. You'd think I'd have this off by heart at this point. In terms
Is
of-
there a bonus for just one last desperate chance?
Yeah, is there a bonus for you've done this spell so many times you know what it should feel like?
I'll reduce the complexity a little bit. Sure. Let's make
Oh,
it
okay.
12 instead of 16. And
I mean,
then,
to be fair, we've never gotten farther than one card's worth of points in before it goes wrong.
yeah,
That's
pretty
true.
much.
That is
I
very
mean,
true.
Okay, let's see. Subjects affected. Okay. And
Can I put a
then-
condition in that's like, if I start feeling it's going wrong, I immediately stop?
Sadly, no.
Okay,
Once you
fair.
start drawing on the winds of magic. No, wait, that's Warhammer. Once you start.
True.
All right, let's see. You do know the subject well. Okay. So Grant's at great now with sorcery?
I am at great.
Okay, cool.
I am
Alright,
a quote unquote great sorcerer.
Yeah, this is a great sorcerer, everybody. I want you to
The
keep that.
greatest sorcerer that Haas knows.
That's true.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all of us. We're like, yeah,
Yeah.
sorcerer.
You are my personal favorite sorcerer out of all the sorcerers I know. Don't you? Aren't I the only sorcerer you know? Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So you
All
only
right.
need 12 points. We're looking for wands
Yeah,
here.
totally. It's fine.
Okay. Wands.
So
Give
hey
me a-
man, if I turn up an ace of wands, you're good to
Right.
go.
No, that's true.
Right.
You know. So let's see what we got.
Shuffle. Make sure those things
ooh,
are shuffled.
It's a
What's
wands. It's a
Oh,
wands.
it's wands.
We actually got points. Okay,
It's an
That's
8. We got 8
eight
points
wands.
on the board.
we're
okay.
there.
Holy
We're almost
shit.
there.
3 points, that's all he needs?
I'm actually
needs,
freaking
4
out.
more. He needs
4
4
Four
more.
more points.
I need 4 points. 4 of wands, baby.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. No, that's okay. It's okay. It's just a knight. Knight of
Okay.
cups.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
it
that's
looks like
one.
it's
Don't scare me.
Yeah. Is that
Looks
cups?
like
No,
they're
pentacles. Pentacle.
But that's
All right.
1, right? So I'm at 9.
You're at well, if you want to use that, I mean, you'd have harmonics if you use
Yeah.
that. So I'm putting it off
no.
to
It
the
would
side.
still
Okay.
go
Yeah,
wiggly.
we'll put it off. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a little wiggly.
Yeah. Okay,
this
this is the Queen of Cups. All right, so we've got the Knight of
getting a
Pentacles
lot
and the
of-
Queen of Cups.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
getting
way
a
better
lot
than
of-
it's been.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Energies
Yeah, but I
here.
can
Come on.
feel it. I'm getting nervous.
I feel like I'm in Vegas here. This is ridiculous.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Fucking A.
What is
I
that?
knew it. I knew it.
Oh no.
It's
Le
the-
Mat.
Is that the fool?
That would be the Fool. Yes.
Oh no.
All right.
I remember
Have we-
believe
it wasn't
we've
the
encountered him
hangman.
before.
What a
But,
fool believes. All right. So the Fool. The spell goes wild as if a Joker were drawn in the ordinary sorcery deck. Okay. Well, now
Okay.
what happens if you draw a Joker?
That's right. Please refer.
So what does the regular deck do?
What is wild mean?
Thanks, special rules.
When you say wild,
Wildly
Is-
good? Wildly
Wild-
successful?
wildly successful.
like, do I get
The
a
spell
cool
is
anime
wildly
haircut?
successful.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it.
Astrid grows a crab claw,
Oh,
Go
just
Super
It's
Saiyan.
into
chaos
a
spawn.
demon head of Slaanesh. Like,
Yes.
oh
right.
man,
What
that
happens?
new Slaanesh demon lord is pretty sweet.
Oh my god.
Anyway, okay. A spell will automatically go wild, quote unquote, anytime that a Joker is drawn from the sorcery deck. On the draw of the card, the spell instantly goes off, whether its thalamic energy requirements are fulfilled or not. A wild spell will automatically cause a greater effect than its intended definitions allow, such
This is
as
what turned me permanent last
This
time.
is your final form.
such as the mind control spell that suddenly controls a whole city instead of one person, or that lasts until the mage figures out some way to dispel it. A wild spell's effects are always up to the host of the game.
Do we all look like Astrid
we
now?
all turned to Astrid. Oh, it's the Astrids. We can be like a gang.
Oh my god! Like a some cyberpunk gang. Like
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All clothes.
We,
And since we're in
gonna
the
have to-
past, it's like, wait, it's all Astrids? Always has been.
Always has been. Oops, all Astrids.
No, it's like I turn into how like Grant remembers Astrid looking. So it's
that's a good one.
Oh
That's
my
a good
Like-
one.
god, yeah.
super tiny like cherub gnome like
My
thing.
God.
No, not a gnome.
Oh no.
No, I'm bringing
Oh.
good Norm into this.
Yeah. Cue the lowrider. All right.
Oh no.
Wow. Jeez. All right. Well, the spell goes off, and it has a greater effect than its intended definitions allow. Okay, that's interesting. So its intended definition is, I want to turn Astrid back into how she looked.
Right.
Okay. And how do we go
That'd be
greater
a
than
permanent, right? That would be a permanent transformation.
Be
it
permanent.
would be. Actually, yeah. No, that actually works because normally spells have time limits, and the whole problem with as Rainey said with the disguise last time is that we got some. I don't know if it was the fool last time or it was something that like accelerated it to the point where it was
Because
like
it was also one where auto goes off, but not the way.
Right, because
Yeah,
technically, I'm not casting a polymorph. I'm casting an illusion.
yeah.
So I'm illusioning you to look like Astrid again, and the greater effect would be it's permanent.
Okay. And it's physical.
Yeah, it's
And
physical,
it's physical.
instead of illusory.
All right. As much as I like the idea of everybody being turned into Astrid,
Only
I do
everyone
too,
does
but
the
it-
voice, so it's
All right, yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, we're gonna have to close this whole campaign off all trying to do impressions of Astrid.
I like that. So hey, there you go. You got your win there, Grant.
yay!
I did it. I had a character arc.
Oh, Jesus.
So I totally put my hand out. It's my right hand. Masonic ring glowing. The right sleeve of my jacket explodes with arcane energy as this blue spiraling scar starts radiating magic, and Astrid becomes Astrid again, fully as intended. With no other consequences. And I
Nice.
fall to my knees, exhausted. Afterwards, I'll take the penalties.
And I look down. It's like my clothes are overflowing my now much shorter form. I'm like, oh wow, look how good you did.
I look at the camera and give a thumbs up.
End of session.
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame, lowrider plays.
All right. Cool. Well, that's interesting. Interesting indeed.
Wow.
So, with that all resolved, yes, if you do want to get off this island, there's a ferry across the Firth of Clyde. Then you get on a little short line railroad. They'll take you up to Glasgow. Glasgow.
Yeah, let's do that.
From which you can cable for the airship.
Very good.
With no
Okay.
problems at all, because Astrid looks like Astrid now.
True.
Indeed. Although I suppose your brothers would just dispatch a ship, right? They wouldn't necessarily personally pilot
I don't know
it.
that they would stop their engineering work to personally chauffeur me around, even though I'm the baby.
Yeah.
No, they'd be like, okay, fine. Like, you, peon, go drive my sister around.
All right. Yeah, they'll dispatch their like best pilot, and one of their nicer ships to ensure that you have as smooth and comfortable a ride as possible. So, you have to wait around in Glasgow for a couple of weeks while the arrangements are made and the ship is dispatched. Presently, it arrives. You board. It's a fine airship indeed. I'm sure you can all picture it quite clearly in your mind's eye. Classic steampunky airshipy kind of thing. And let's see Google Maps. How far is it from Glasgow, UK to Castle Dracula?
Just that old trade route.
Yeah, classic. Let's see.
First established by the Romans.
Right. All right. So let's see. That's about 1,900 miles. Okay.
That's a pretty long. Well, I mean, that's like 2 days.
Yeah. Let's see here. What do you think an airship does? About 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. So maybe 2 3 days.
31.6 hours. Yeah, 32 hours. So yeah, day and a half.
So I'm thinking we probably don't want to like park our airship right at Dracula's castle.
Yeah, just land on like a pointy little parapet.
Just crushing one of the roofs underneath,
Yeah.
flattening it.
Dracula's are like, oh.
Right, yeah.
I just had that one redone.
So would Haas know a city or town somewhat nearby where we could dock and then maybe head on foot, or maybe someplace centrally located to all the Dracula's Gold locations?
Certainly.
You know, I'm going to say in the weeks prior to us flying out, Grizzly, deeply superstitious, probably stocked up on garlic, crosses, like anything that like Bram Stoker wrote about.
Like walked into churches and just filled your canteen with water.
Totally. I'm like carving crosses into the tips of my my bullets, like in From Dusk Till Dawn.
So you're about a quarter century before Bram Stoker writes about Dracula, but
That's true.
obviously Frederick here would kind of be an expert on such things, I would imagine.
There you go. Yeah, whatever Frederick Haas tells me to do, or you know, if I'm like up at night being like, vampires, what the hell do we do against these things? I can't shoot nothing anymore. And you know, Haas, you could
We
tell
all
me
just
whatever
get
you
big
like.
metal collars.
Totally.
So I guess what would I know about vampires, Dave, from my experiences as far as you know, behavior, vulnerabilities, all that kind of stuff? I'm assuming also our first just choice, or at least I know Haas's first choice, would be to avoid them altogether and just try to go about it in a very sneaky fashion, collect all that gold, and get out of there without any kind of confrontation. So that would be
that's plan A.
That's plan A, yeah.
So Haas is like abstinence
Which always
only
works.
when it comes to vampire hunting.
Abstinence only.
Yeah.
Don't hunt vampires and you don't have a problem.
He has a promise ring on.
You don't gotta hunt them if there's no vampires to hunt because you're sneaky.
That's right.
Promise ring. I promise to never hunt vampires.
You know what this means to me?
It's the great truce of the spiders in your house. You know, it's like, cool, you can be in my house. I will not kill you. But if you do the thing where you walk on the ceiling over where I sleep, it's going to be a problem. And I'm going to tell my husband and he's going to kill you because I can't.
if I see Dracula in the bathroom, it's over.
Yeah, hanging from the ceiling.
Okay, Dracula, you can stay at your castle, but don't come out here where I'm digging up your gold.
That's right.
That's not where you go.
We're going to have problems.
Yeah, so there really isn't like a monster lore or fairy lore ability in Falkenstein. So I think it's more just based off of like what your background is, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So I guess what advice would I be able to impart on Grizzly and the others?
Okay. Let's look up your standard issue vampires here.
I'm assuming that maybe the vampires in Falkenstein are a little different, maybe, than elsewhere, or at least maybe have some unique qualities.
Well, I remember
because they're like broken fairies, right?
Right. Yeah, they're fairies who need blood to survive. So for all we know, Dracula is susceptible to iron.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can give him anemia.
Let's see here. Okay. So there's some fun little symbols. Now this would just be for general vampires. We can't say for certain whether Count Dracula is going to subscribe to any of these, you know.
He famously
but would Haas
unsubscribes.
know some of the specifics because it hasn't dealt with the specific before?
This is true. Although you never really, I mean, you mostly just tried to placate your
yeah, sat down there.
Right?
So, Dracula, if you had any vulnerabilities,
is there anything I should avoid doing while I'm here because it would horribly kill you?
Let's play the game where we list each other's fatal flaws.
For example, for me, bullets. How about for you? All right. So yeah, well, actually, you would know what to avoid, right? Because it's like you wouldn't have wanted to offend him. So you would know that typically vampires do have the weakness to iron that all fairies have. They are also repulsed by holy symbols and prayers. They are repulsed by clothes turned inside out, and they cannot cross running water.
Dope. I like the running water one. That's one that's usually left out.
Mm-hmm.
Clothes turned inside out. That's a new one.
So yeah, that's what you're aware of.
It's very 90s hip hop of them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Crisscross never had to worry about.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah. Like
can we have backwards overalls, please? Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So yeah, Grizzly probably would have gone overboard on that kind of thing. Like garlic necklace, with probably like some crosses in his pockets, and turned his jacket and pants inside out. I mean, he looks ridiculous, and he smells bad, or good.
Oh
if you
yeah,
really
because
like
all
garlic.
the parts that are usually absorbing all of your delightful musk are now on the outside.
Correct.
So,
And covered in garlic.
Yeah, Victorian musk is nothing compared to Victorian musk with garlic.
and for some reason, you're doing that the whole airship ride over. Like we're
Totally.
not even on vampires.
I'm not taking. Yeah, I'm not taking any chances.
There are no vampires in Switzerland, Grant.
Well, as far as you know, partner.
That's all you know. Yeah.
That's it.
You're having the galley chef like douse everything in garlic aioli sauce,
Hello, good aioli. Yeah, I probably would have gone overboard. Like I'm sure everybody, like if nobody on whoever's on the ship obviously has never met me before. So they're like, what the hell is this dude doing?
He's an American.
Right. This is total American behavior. Very normal in America.
Well, the good news is that this is basically the equivalent of your own private jet. You got all to yourselves. You got
nice.
the crew at your disposal, but otherwise it's just you. So, okay.
And as far as where to put down, is there a city I'm not sure, it's like Bucharest or some other, or is it better to like set down in a town?
Well, I mean, it depends on how far away you want to set down. Where is? Let's see. The nearest large city, because Bucharest is on the south end of the country. So the nearest large city is this is one I've never had to say out loud, but I think it's Cluj, Cluj, or Cluj.
Okay, I see.
But there's also Bistrit, Bistrit. That's kind of a medium-sized town or large village. So that would probably be your best close destination, would be Bistrit.
Is it a large enough town that we could get, I would just assume, to be unnoticeable? We need the stereotypical like carriage drawn by black horses or whatever to get around, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to hire one of those out.
Yeah, if we could get an old Romanian woman to, hand
like
us protective charms and
the evil eye for us and stuff.
Right, right. That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, put something in our hands and say, "Leave and never come back," and
or just you buy it.
A train of mules hitched up behind our hansom.
There you go.
With the like crates with the crossed whatever on their back to haul all the gold.
Oh, okay. You want some pack mules?
Yeah.
They want us to dig up hundreds of pounds of gold. It's like, well, how are we going to carry all this heavy shit? And then it's just all the eyes slowly swivel over, like giant strongman.
Astrid and Iskander,
yeah. I assumed Iskander was going to carry us the whole way here.
Right.
That's just going to hop on Iskander's back.
The pass.
It's just funny because our physique is the same. So
that
whatever.
is funny.
Well, not anymore. Unless
did you
upgraded to great? Yeah, I upgraded to great with all of my
your fisticuffs thing,
constitutionals, and my gym regimen, and half dozen raw eggs in the morning and all that shit.
Oh, I thought you were just adding your like brawlery stuff, but fine. But yeah, no, pack animals or equivalent, pack robots, whatever, would all be good.
I feel
Just
like
not
pack
packed
automatons
vampires.
would be like, automata would be too expensive.
Not for me.
not for Grant.
Yeah,
but, hey,
I've got some money.
That's true. I mean, if you wanna pop for clockwork automata to tote our gold, then that's pretty awesome.
I mean, I guess we could always ride the giant spider machine to Dracula's castle. You know, maybe that's what we'll turn the factory back into, is a giant spider manufacturing facility.
But either way, I am on board with the plan of just trying to get in there and not attract attention.
I agree. Totally incognito.
I think probably our best bet is to go to take the airship to the city then, since that'll be a little less conspicuous. And then maybe, because it looks like you said Bistrita is the town that's near.
Yeah, or Bistritz with it's either a Z or an A at the end. So.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So that's only, I mean, if I'm looking at the same place, that's only maybe 40 miles from Cluj-Napoca, the city. So yeah, maybe we can, Cluj would be a good place to hire on a team of, you know, whatever we might need, wagons and so forth, and then take that into the wilds and use Bistrita as kind of our base of operations, and maybe have the airship kind of wait for us in the city.
Yeah, it would be nice to be like a city or two, or at least a few towns between where we land and where we're staying.
So that might be, I think,
outrun the rumors.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Also, Cluj is probably a large enough town that an airship would not be the biggest fucking deal for these people like of the year. Yeah, you know.
Go tell Dracula.
It's a dragon. Shoot it down. You know.
Quick boy, run and tell the local lord.
Totally.
All right, cool. All right, so Cluj it is, and so you do dock in the city center, and of course it does draw a crowd. You know, they don't. It's not the first airship that's ever come to town, but they don't get them all the time by any means. So as you descend the rope ladder, the crew, having informed you that they will, you know, wait there for your return, you are more or less mobbed by many excited locals. You know, all of them shouting excitedly in their native tongue, Romanian, presumably, to little effect, since you can't understand a word they're saying. But amongst the swarming crowds, a rather large man, sort of on the same physical scale as Iskander, shoulders his way forward, you know, like kind of batting people out of the way, and he says, please excuse the most unhospitable welcome, travelers. Who might you be, and what brings you to my fine town?
Anybody want to take that?
We're all just like looking at each other like,
I know, yeah.
But Haas probably has better social skills than I.
Right. Plus Haas sounds, I don't want to say like native to the area, but probably less strange than like I do.
Oh yeah, you sound crazy.
Is it safe to say, Dave, that because my time at Dracula's castle was weirdly extended for the time thing, that maybe I learned a bit of Romanian while I was there, or picked it up?
Yeah, we can go with that. Sure.
Okay. So 1870s. How big right now is archaeology?
Basically non-existent.
Okay, it hasn't quite hit that like the archaeology craze. It was at the 18.
We're not like eating 90s. Mummies and stuff yet.
Brendan Fraser's The Mummy has not come out yet.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, what really kicked off the archaeology craze? Brendan Fraser's The Mummy.
Totally.
Yeah, no. Let's see. When did Troy get excavated? Let's see. Schliemann, amateur archaeologist. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's actually kind of going on right at this very minute. There's 1868, Schliemann visited sites in the Greek world, which he asserted that Hisarlik was the site of Troy, and submitted a dissertation in ancient Greek proposing the same thesis, the University of Rostock. All right, so Schliemann is currently excavating in Turkey, modern-day Turkey, and Greece. So that is to say, basically, archaeology does not exist.
Okay, so all right, so that probably wouldn't work. So my thought was coming at it with hey, we're group with a university from Vienna, Paris, and we're doing archaeological surveys of pre-Christian ruins in the region of Transylvania and Moldova. But that probably isn't something that this person would be used to hearing, because it looks like it hasn't taken off yet.
Yeah, ironically, if it had any meaning to him at all, it would be exactly what you have come to do, which is, hi, we're a bunch of foreigners who have come to dig up a bunch of gold and take it away.
Yeah, okay.
We work for the British Museum.
Yeah. So, okay, so I'll introduce myself in Romanian.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm probably don't use my real name. This gets back to Dracula. He'll be very upset.
My name is Frederick Dracula.
Freddy Dracula.
Freddy Dracula.
If this gets back to Dracula, he'll be very upset.
I will say, all right, well, it had to happen. Nice to meet you. I am Herr Karl Gross.
Oh my God.
Oh, I was going to say
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
I am from the embassy in Vienna by way of Paris, and I'm here escorting a rich American tycoon, Mr. Grizzly Grant, who is interested in perhaps buying some property in the region to have as a home or perhaps some other purposes. We would like to do a tour of the area.
And the camera goes to Grizzly Grant, who's wearing his clothes inside out.
Yeah, easy
And
to
reeking
style.
of garlic.
Smells like garlic. You've probably convinced me to stop wearing the garlic necklace. But maybe my underwear is inside out, and I'm look like at
Did
least
I
a
mention he
normal
was
person.
an eccentric American type?
I'm like, I'm an artist.
I do think so that the garlic necklace thing wasn't as obvious, I probably kind of put together a little like I have just a little necklace with some resin in it that you could put like garlic oil on, basically, so that you have the garlic, except it doesn't look like garlic. So you're still nasty, but it doesn't look like garlic.
You nasty.
So Grant probably hears, Romanian, Grizzly Grant, and then like looking over at him, looking back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just nod. I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. These people have never seen an American before. Like, guaranteed. And so
now they've seen the archetypal one.
Right. So every American who comes here after this will be like, why are your clothes on inside out? Right? Because they'll assume you were wearing your clothes the right way.
Very normal thing to do in America.
Yeah. All right. So the man introduces himself as the mayor of the town, Mihai Radu. And
for real, Radu?
Radu. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Have you guys not seen those movies? What is it called? Oh my god, they're so good. It's another vampire movie.
I mean, I'm not going to confirm or deny any of this, but
Okay,
but yeah. So that's who that is, and he is quite pleased to hear that a rich American has come to look at real estate. So he says, "Well, please let me be the first to welcome you, sir." Still in Romanian, but he sticks his big meaty hand out to shake your hand. And he says, "Consider me at your disposal."
Your English is pretty good there, partner.
Well, we're assuming that Frederick's translating, right?
Oh, fair. Okay, well, then, yeah, his Romanian's pretty good there, partner.
Yes, it is excellent.
I just want to say his Romanian is excellent.
No accent whatsoever.
He's obviously an educated man.
All right, yeah. Okay, well, yeah. I don't know. I'm letting Haas kind of lead the way because he knows. I mean, I'm like, when I say I'm letting Haas lead the way, I'm like cowering behind Haas.
So I'll inform everyone in English what I'm telling him in a way, just in case he does understand English, that it doesn't give away everything. But say yes. So I just informed the mayor that. By the way, this is mayor, and I just informed him that you are here interested in purchasing property in the region, and he is made himself at our disposal. So perhaps we can speak to him about hiring wagons or the like, and perhaps finding a place to stay, and of course allowing the airship to remain. And
perfect. I'm so glad we met such a fine contact to help us in locating this land.
So I will thank the mayor and ask him if it's possible to, if there's a hotel nearby that he would recommend that we could stay at, and also if we could keep our airship here while we make plans. I inform him that we're interested in the first looking in the region around Bistritz, and we'll probably start our search there, but we're likely going to be in the region for a while and are more than happy to pay whatever rental we need to, and whatever follow whatever rules are in place. Definitely don't want to be a nuisance to their fine city.
So he nods along, and then he says, "I would not think of asking you to pay rent or to stay in some flea-bitten roadhouse. No, you will stay as my guests in my manor house for as long as you wish." But then he puts his gigantic arm around your rather narrow shoulders there, Frederick, and and pulls you in, and he says, "But I might advise you to look for a place a little closer to town here. Bistritz is far off in the wilds, and there are some unwholesome elements that dwell not far from that benighted town."
Oh, you don't say. Well, perhaps tonight we could share dinner together, all of us. You could tell us about this. Of course, I have very little control over my American friend. He is he is from the wilds of America, so you imagine that that is appealing to him. But I will inform him, of course.
Yes, of course. He must live in a strange animal hide tent of some sort, right? That is how Americans live.
I'm sure he'll have many tales to tell you at dinner about this.
I look forward to them. And he slaps you on the back, and then he gives Grizzly a good pat on the shoulder, and and then kind of for the first time he notices Iskander, and his eyes narrow a little bit.
Yes, mine narrow in return. I think that we might have to have a good old-fashioned flex off to see if we can maintain each other's company for any appreciable amount of time.
Yeah, it's a little oil wrestling, eh?
I don't know that there's necessarily any
That's right.
Physical contact beyond except maybe the Dylan you son of a bitch handshake. Maybe that. But that would be about it. But there's definitely some flexes and poses, and if we approve of each other's physique, then perhaps we can become friends, maybe acquaintances.
That's very true. You know, this is like when my beard was like 20 inches long. Like I sought the approval of other men first, right? Like that's kind of what masculinity is about, in my opinion. Like you're not really after anything. You want another dude to be like, you look cool, you know?
I mean, I've heard that said of the aesthetic of femininity as well, that it's not for men, it's for other women that you're competing against or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard that bandied about.
I would buy that with like a big muscly vampire mayor and Iskander.
Vampire mayor.
What is this vampire mayor?
I don't know. I just assume everyone here is a vampire.
Yeah, I would think that's what Grant thinks. Like now we're in the place where everyone's vampires. So.
Like,
right.
Like he's looking around all the like townspeople, and he's like seeing them menacingly, like they're like
totally. Yeah.
They're actually just like standing there.
All right. I mean, it's like when we went to Paris, there was a ton of fairies there. And now I'm like, oh, we're in vampire country, and there's a ton of fairies here. They're all vampires.
Yeah.
I actually can't argue with that logic.
Right.
It's solid, actually.
That actually kind of checks out.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So and of course, yeah, obviously permissions granted to keep the airship moored in town, no problem. So yeah, cut to later that night up at the mayor's rather nicely appointed hall. You are all seated for a dinner service.
Wait, I do have a question. What time of day did we arrive?
Oh, let's see. So it was about a day and a half. So I imagine like early afternoon.
Okay. I'm just making sure. It was daytime, right? Like when all these people were out.
I mean,
Is that a thing?
overcast though. But remember, David mentioned nothing about
He didn't say anything
Dracula
about
and
sunlight.
sunlight.
Yeah. Okay, carry.
You may proceed. All right. So. All right. So great. So you are being served with delicious multi-course meal in which you're getting more paprika than you have ever had in your life, but it's all going down nicely.
Delicious. Thank you.
Oh!
Yeah, my mustache is all tinted red halfway down.
Oh man. Apparently there's a Romanian dish called beef salad. So I imagine having some of that too.
Okay, I want it.
Like Fleischsalat, like it is German.
Right. Yeah.
Fleischsalat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's vegetables and meat cut into small cubes with mayonnaise. So there you go.
Mit mayonnaise.
Mit mayonnaise.
But yeah, so of course, obviously, Mayor Radu wants to hear all about Grant's adventures in America. So unless you want to hold back in any way, he'll hang on your every word.
Oh no, I'm going full on with a big mouthful of salata de boeuf in my mouth. Yeah, I'm going all out. I'm going on about my childhood in the territories and how my dad was my dad was native and my mom was white, and going on about my time out there and joining the war and between the Mexicans and Americans, big deal. May have heard of it, may have not. and about how I got my nickname Grizzly Grant by single-handedly fighting a bear.
He loves that story. That's a big hit. Yeah.
Yeah, a big hit. And I'm like, I look pretty scrawny, but I'm good with a knife. So, and I probably when when I tell it, I probably take my knife out and I'm like, this is the one that got him. And I'm like turning it around, showing him. And I'm just going all out. I'm trying to impress this. I'm trying to not only impress our host, but also like gauge his interest. And I'm like looking at his reactions and seeing if he's really biting into it, so to speak, or if he's holding back or trying to like fool me in some way, I guess.
Okay. He seems genuinely engaged, definitely not trying to like kill time until the sun goes down or something like that,
Okay, good.
I don't like the way you said that.
This all checks out.
Yeah. Dave said definitely not, right?
Definitely not. Definitely
Yeah,
not.
he said
Okay, just want to have to make sure.
Not doing this very suspicious, specific action.
Right. Well, you said not. We have no choice but to trust our host.
Indeed. Exactly. But he does keep shooting, daggers over towards Iskander, in between, like, oh no, do go on, please,
I can't help but think that I would notice this, and maybe is it like one of these long ass tables that they have where it's all fancy and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like straight Beauty and the Beast, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
One table, chair at either end, and like 64 between them.
Yep.
Okay.
And he insists on one person sitting at each end,
So are we all gathered at one end with him, and then Iskander's all the way at the other end?
He's like, no, the seats have been assigned.
Yeah, just right here.
Yeah,
right
you'll
here.
find your name behind your seat.
Well, we should set up a trigger of some kind or something like that, because I want to say about the third time that I noticed this, it can't be a coincidence. And as always, Iskander's never a dude to like come in the side door. He's gonna like walk right up onto your front porch and knock. So I want to say the third time he notices the like stink eye from this guy, he's gonna stand up and like walk up to him and ask him what the problem is, because clearly something is good.
That puts a screech on my storytelling for sure.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Like I said, it's the third time he notices, so I noticed like once, but
Right.
it's definitely gonna like record scratch. He'll probably even he'll be like, so there I was dangling by one hand, a cliff over a chasm 1,000 feet below.
And then I saw the Grizzly's nutsack just right there. I knew I had my chance.
It was the only handle available. And so with a mighty leap, pardon me.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Grant, I am sorry to interrupt. Something like that.
It was like your big payoff moment, right?
Right. But you know what, though? I mean, like, obviously, we all roll pretty deep by now. So when Iskander puts the brakes on it, I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm ready.
But through this whole thing, like, Haas is still translating, right?
Yes.
So I like the idea that this is the first time I've noticed that when he's translating for us, he has different voices that he does. I just think that it would be very
but it's all in Romanian, so like
yeah. Speaking of which, have we noticed anything different about Haas's behavior?
I don't know. What do you think, Haas? How are you feeling? You're close by to the Borgo Pass, so
I would say barring perhaps a perception check of some kind, I will say that you have noticed that Haas seems extremely relaxed, given not only the circumstances, being this close to Dracula's castle, and you having heard his story, know that that's a dangerous prospect for him, but also more relaxed and at ease than maybe you've seen him before in the time that you've known him. It's just very
That's not a word we associate with Haas.
No.
Relaxed.
Like Haas is exuding confidence right now.
Yeah, you haven't seen him take any nips from his flask or other drinks. He's his body language, his shoulders are very relaxed. He's kind of leaning back in his chair, legs crossed. Smile on his face. For the most part, very uncharacteristic.
I think having no choice because everything is being translated, but to pay attention to Haas, I might venture such a perception check, sir, to see what I notice about your odd behavior, your odd calm.
Right. I can only assume that I turned Haas invincible. Like I'm like, Haas fears no man.
All right, so I'd say it's an average difficulty to notice the Haas is relaxed because it's so unusual. But if you do want to turn that into a feat and throw some cards down and try and get a full success or a high success and get some additional insight, you are more than welcome to. It would be a Pentacles challenge.
Okay. So my perception is good.
Oh, good. Okay. So right out the bat, you've got a full success then.
Yeah. And I don't have any pentacles to throw down, but I can throw down onesies and twosies if you want to try to mess with
all you need to do is toss out 2 cards and you'll have a high success.
Sweet. All right. This one and this one.
Okay. All right. So what you notice, Astrid, as you're watching Haas, is that, of course, what immediately catches your eye is his kind of laid back and relaxed manner, which is strange enough. But the more you observe him, the more you start to realize, this is something more than just like a passing mood. This is like almost a personality shift that has occurred.
And I'm aware that magic was done at him that we saw no visible effect for.
Yes.
But for now, I don't really know how deep it goes. I do know he's different, though, on a fundamental level.
And I would say it's probably noticeable because of your perception and perceptiveness that the change was pretty much coincides directly with the spell.
Okay.
It was kind of like Haas before the spell and Haas after the spell.
Yeah, I'm thinking back while you're doing all your translating, and it's not afraid of dinosaur land. Didn't freak out when this happened. And I'm And then, of course, Iskander starts causing drama that you have to translate. So I have to stop my thinking for a moment.
And Haas will translate it in the, whatever aggressive, and confrontational words he'll accurately translate, and also in a very relaxed manner. Just oh yes, by the way, my friend here says, what the hell is up with you staring at him? Or whatever, he'll just, his translation will be just as nonchalant as everything else. Of course, when he's telling the stories, though, I was actually thinking of maybe attempting a performance.
I was gonna say, are you monotonous? Are you reciting things back, or like a robot, or do you have?
Oh no, I would definitely
inflection and embellishment.
Yeah, use voices and dramatic pauses and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to try to at least translate with the same way that Grant is telling the story, and add all that in. I think just with Iskander, there isn't a moment where Haas goes, "Oh, I hate to interrupt, but he's just very oh yes, and by the way, my friend here is wondering why you're staring at him."
I like to think that it's like C-3PO in Return of the Jedi when he's telling the story to the Ewoks, miming the walkers and the TIE fighters. And,
he's doing shadow puppets against the wall,
and stuff. And then, and by the way, and of course, Iskander came up with this very wordy, pardon me, good host, I must take umbrage with your cutting glance directed toward my person. For if you bear me some enmity, I am unaware of any offense I have given, and I feel as though we should air our grievances and deal with them forthwith. And then the translation of all of that is so he wants to know why you're staring at him.
Yeah, there's a very short phrase in Romanian that means all of that. It's
Why he's staring at me,
It is a
bro?
very
Specific
common
race for that
thing.
means
Yeah.
like all of
Yeah,
that.
that happens a lot over here. You'd be surprised.
Why are you mad dogging?
Yeah, there's
For
a
real.
reason they ward against the evil eye, because
Yeah.
they do be given it.
They do be giving it.
My friend here says, "Why you mad dogging me, bitch?"
My friend here says, "What's good, bitch?"
Just exactly like that.
That's awesome.
All right. So, yeah, Mayor Raju looks at Iskander, and in Turkish, he says, "I don't care for Turks in my town."
I see. I have never encountered such discrimination, but I must assure you, I am only a Turk by national heritage, for I grew up in a monastery, damn it, the Islamic
Mosque.
churches, mosque. Yes, I grew up in a mosque in Macedon, and just lately have spent several years in Paris. But by all means, what are your problems with my ancestors?
And so he continues on in Turkish. He says, "Well, you know as well as I that our lands were once subjugated by the Ottoman, and it was only through the heroism of a great warlord in the 1400s that the yoke was thrown off."
And I wish you well of your freedom. I do not mean to come to your country as a conqueror, but merely a guest and visitor. I would hope that we could put the past behind us.
All right. How are you going to try and convince him of the
Yes,
sincerity
tell us of
your
your great
words?
social skills.
Yes, I will have to.
Or perhaps through flexing your pecs. That could also
Oh
work.
yeah, flex up, flex up.
And we're hearing all this in Turkish, right? So we're not really sure what's going on here. It's just a conversation that seems kind of heated,
A
but
little charged, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, your people subjugated my people and bled the soil on which you stand red for centuries, etc.
Yeah. And so,
Okay.
So, yeah, Kenny knows about the thing. There's connections that my brain is trying to make.
All the equations flying past.
Oh, right. The equations are flying past, but my forehead is a brick wall, so they're not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd rather make this a social contest rather than a physical one.
okay.
And I think that I would try to explain to our good host that I am not your typical invading Turk, though I am of Turkish descent, and relate to him. Gosh, it's so tough because we didn't actually do the things that I remember doing at this point in time. So I can't tell him that I did all this awesome shit, especially in the service of other countries and stuff, because that hasn't happened yet.
But you do travel in quite international company, so it's obvious you're not anti other folk generally.
Right. In fact, I mean, Frederick Haas, I mean, he's not Romanian.
That's kind of what I was thinking was take the tack of like, look at my traveling companions and basically try to demonstrate that our tale, of how we got here is unbelievable. But I assure you, it's 100% true to the last syllable, and hint at it rather than get into specifics and try to focus more on the idea that, I'm showing up here with an American, a Russian, an Austrian, and a Swede, I think, right? And we had a fairy with us before, but she, couldn't make it.
Well, she lives in the future now.
And myself, and we're this multicultural group that should go a long way to represent that I'm not some part of some, invading ethnocentric horde.
Yeah, we're a ethno goulash here.
You're an ethno beef salad.
Yeah, there you go.
Und I'm the mayonnaise.
Are you sure?
All right. So, I think social graces would be the way to go there. And I assume you're average on that.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
What could I make the argument for connections?
Connections. If let's see.
We did get upgraded connections, though.
That's why.
Yeah.
But connections would be like, how I would interpret it in the situation would be like, oh, look at all my friends from different parts of the world. Like, these are connections, and maybe you could drop some names. I don't know.
So connections is more about like trying to pull strings on somebody else's behalf. Like if you're trying to get them an audience with somebody.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So,
but since it's social and status, we'll just start with a 10 of swords and see how that goes.
That goes very well, actually. Yes. 14. Yep, that's a full success. There you go. I don't have any swords to play against you, so.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you explain yourself, and he listens, and gradually his eyes soften a bit, and he nods at last and says, "Well, very well. You make a good point. It is unfair of me to judge others individually on the actions of the greater entity. So, besides, you're a guest in my home, and I would never turn out a guest. So please, let us sit and get back to enjoying this meal and Mr. Grant's most excellent stories."
I'd like to bow to him so low as to show him the back of my neck. Linger a bit.
Does he drool?
Yeah, I was going to say, and if I survive, stand up and thank you, kind host. I promise that your faith in us will not be misplaced.
So he offers his hand and shakes it if you're so amenable.
Awesome. Can we do the Dylan, you son of a bitch handshake?
Absolutely. Yeah. You both nearly flex out of your coat sleeves.
It the vibrates a little bit.
Yeah.
Is this dude really like huge? Like, is he jacked?
He's just like a giant bear, basically. I mean, you could probably take him in the same manner you took out that grizzly bear,
Well, okay, well, I got this then, but still, it's like intimidating.
Don't worry, guys, I got this.
That was a long time ago. I'm an old man now.
Thank you for cleaning up my discards, by the way. I couldn't figure out how to discard them.
No problemo. Yeah, I think you just have to throw them down and then I pick them up. Okay, so very good. So the dinner continues past sundown, and with many a course being brought out, washed down with many a bottle of fine wine appropriate to the dish. And
does Does our host drink the wine?
Oh, he always drinks wine. But yes, it is sometime late in the night when the fire is beginning to die down in the gigantic fireplace. And he's sitting kind of slumped a little bit in his chair, and he says, I do wish to Frederick, in Romanian, I do wish your friend would reconsider. The Borgo Pass is not a good pass. It is watched over by evil forces. And he makes the sign to ward off the evil eye as he says that.
Yes, you mentioned earlier when we met in the town squares that you were going to elaborate.
Of course. It is an unholy thing that dwells in the pass. I dare not speak its name. I would only beg you to reconsider. But then again, you are not the first foreigners to come through here seeking that evil place just in the last few days.
Oh, who else arrived, if you don't mind me asking?
I couldn't talk them out of it either.
Yes. And perhaps they are people that we know, colleagues. Did they offer their names or?
Yes, they stayed with me. It was only befitting nobility, after all.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, maybe even Frederick will say that. Mm-hmm. And I will proceed to, well, you know what? I'll just mention, perhaps was it a lord from, what was his, Trevania? Lord Dyer?
So the mayor sits bolt upright suddenly, and he grabs your hand and he says, "How did you know this? Have you come as part of his party as well?"
I'm afraid not, but I have passing acquaintance with him in the past, and I knew that he might be in the area. Pray, if it isn't too much trouble, did he mention what he was here to do?
No, he was much more tight-lipped about his affairs than you have been. He said only that he intended to make for the Borgo Pass, that he had some business to attend to up there. I begged him. I told him certain death awaited him around those evil lands, but he only laughed.
Was he alone or accompanied?
He came with a party of men.
A large party?
I suppose you could call it that. It was 10 men plus himself. Strangest thing, too, they came with wagons and pack horses. All empty, as if they were planning to return with something. I told him there was nothing for him out there, but he only laughed again.
Motherfuckers.
Nothing but
Thanks a lot, time traveler.
So,
Fuck.
crossing ass time traveler.
What time of what year is it? What day?
Who am I? Where am I?
Is there a newspaper I can look at?
Response.
Yeah. What? Because we were okay. So when is Saint? Fuck me. When is the? When's the deadline?
St. George's Eve is in April.
Yeah.
You're in September now.
So we have to assume that he also has a map of some kind, or he's going to be doing some random ass digging or whatever.
10
He's got
men.
some kind of lead.
He knows where he's going.
So
Yeah.
September, we're early or are we late?
You're both early and late. You're about equidistant from either one.
But are we early?
From the
'cause
day
we
that
didn't-
he supposedly took it.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
early too then. Presumably, or he's also late. In which case.
Or he's staying with Dracula.
Did this mayor? What did he say that Lord Dyer came by? How long ago was it?
You said within the last week.
A week. So he has a week head start on us.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we let him get the treasure, then we just go take it from him.
That's a classic American double cross.
That's right.
Yeah. Why do all that digging and shit?
Why do all that
it for
digging,
us?
buddy? Yeah.
Good point.
Because
It
we're
is a
gonna have to have a
pass.
pretty good plan for 11 dudes, like that are all outfitted by a lord.
I hold up 2 guns. I got 12.
Do we have time to make 11 giant mechanical spiders?
I already did.
Yeah, I immediately get started as soon as you translate it. I'm like,
Got your erector set out. You're like,
all right, yeah.
making like
Erector
giant
set.
fezzes for all of my little mechano beasts.
Okay, well, I think obviously all this information, pass that along to, my friends when, in the moment if everyone's still at dinner or later if anyone's retired. But yeah, I don't know what our plan would be from that. I guess it would be a good time to retire for the evening. Do you think there's anything else we need to ask this guy about? Okay. So yeah, I think we'll all just, man, I'm really tired. And then we'll
look at the time.
reconvene in somebody's room to be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yep.
Slumber party
Fuck,
style.
Lord Dar's already here.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We know the drill of like wait for the guests to go to bed and then we all have our secret meeting.
Go up, tiptoe out.
Yeah, Frederick's room as usual. Yeah. All right, so yeah, you're all gathered in I guess Frederick's room, and yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
What are we going to do about it? What can we do about it? They've got a week ahead of us, at least, or at most, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
From the map that I kind of went over building with the Banshee, how many sites were there marked?
There were 13 sites, of course.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so here's kind of the field that we're dealing with as far as where everything is. I mean, we'd be guessing or trying to build a pattern to figure out where they are, seeing if we can get to some of them before they do, or making a plan to take them out, because the point was that they don't get these funds.
I mean, I don't know. The way that I would do it is just find them, let them get it, and we're up perched on a hill somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, because it's a pass, so that implies that they're going to have to funnel back through that pass on the way back, and if we find a good ambush spot, maybe we can do that. They didn't arrive by airship, we know that much.
But they could be in cahoots with Dracula.
Well, I don't know that Dracula would be cool to let anyone take his treasure, even some evil bitch like Dyer.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll say, Frederick, you would know for a fact that if Dracula knew this was going on, he'd be very, very upset.
Then the answer is clear.
We have to be friends with Dracula.
Big friends with Dracula.
Yes. We have to narc on these fools to Dracula. Like,
we have to get an army of Draculas.
Dracula.
We heard.
Teacher.
Lord Dyer. He's coming for your treasure.
Yeah, and he'll be like, blah, blah, and they're like, we'll go get him.
That checks out.
That's right.
I think that's viable.
The only problem with that plan is it means we don't get the treasure. Unless we decide
Frederick's
to
like, I can think of
double-cross
another problem with that.
Dracula.
Actually, Frederick seems totally fine with that plan for some reason.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I'm like, Frederick, you seem pretty calm about this, considering your story about Dracula.
What's up, Dad?
The bygones is the bygones. I'm sure it's over it by now.
Okay, I understand. Anyways.
He only thinks that I murdered his daughter. It's no big deal.
Oh.
I'm sure he's over it by now.
Yeah.
And that was only like a week ago, according to these timelines.
You like flee for your life, and then a week later just show up knocking on his door.
Hey, what's up, Dad?
Nonchalant sausage with some mustard on it. How's it going?
Just like holding a little paper towel, just munching on it.
Some freshly purchased Lederhosen.
Maybe not a bad idea if we could pull it off. Would be to sneakify whatever they had gotten, but draw Dracula's attention to them while we abscond with the goods. I don't know how we'd do that exactly, but we could try.
Does the black woman need all the treasure?
Probably not. I mean, gold, gold is worth its weight in gold, as they say. So
they say that.
As they do say. So yeah, I mean, she just wants to purchase back the allotments on the island. So it would just be enough to do that, basically.
Yeah, why don't we let them get a little bit of the gold so Dracula can go, wreck him with his Dracula powers, and we tiptoe away, unobstructed. It's a perfect plan. Was there a plan that I said there?
There's a plan in there somewhere, yeah.
There's a plan in there somewhere.
It's like 20% of a plan.
All right, maybe.
But I also like the pass idea, since that does help our numbers have a bit of an advantage against more people. But we have some options. But yes, based on what Haas has told us in the past, maybe not to Dracula's attention if it might fall upon him at least. We don't want that to happen.
Also, Haas, why do you keep calling Dracula Dad?
Oh, yes. So I guess I haven't told everybody yet.
No.
I kind of hinted that me and Dracula aren't on the best of terms. Okay.
Classic.
Yeah, so, where to begin? So yes, I married that Dracula's daughter. And he was at first not approving, but then kind of came around. But then a man and his associates came and he killed many vampires, including my wife. And Dracula blames me for it. He thinks I led them there, and banished me forever on pain of death.
Okay.
Basically, it's a few details, minor details here and there, but that is the gist.
Okay.
Minor details.
Well, that checks out. I didn't know you was a married man, Haas. I'm sorry about your wife.
Yeah. Well,
killed by vampire hunters. There's not a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah, this is it wasn't an easy situation to deal with. I feel as though I have a bit of clarity now to it, but perhaps this would be a chance to address that, both for myself and for the Count. But I'm in a good place now. Yeah.
Okay, well, I admire your bravery.
You finally drank enough absinthe. Just kind of push you over.
Yeah, tipped me right over the edge.
Right.
But yeah, there's obviously, I would say, even given the potential mystical nature of Haas's permanent good mood, it's almost like, watching someone, like, you can almost maybe see that pain and anguish kind of start to, like, almost break through, but it's like, what you gonna do? So, like his eyes are dead, like,
fuck my life, right?
All right, yeah. But I'm fine. How are you?
Now I'm trying to remember the last session. The duration on that spell was like 6 months, right? I mean, it was a hefty duration.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to last throughout this whole thing because it was going to be a physical transformation,
right? To keep him safe.
Okay.
Yeah. But instead
of making him reckless, which
utterly, no self-preservation and totally chill with everything.
All right.
So what do we have? We have a map leading to some treasure. We've got Dracula.
13 spots.
13 spots. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a team of fellers who's got a week ahead of us. We got an angry old vampire daddy who does not want to see Haas.
Oh no, vampire daddy does not want to see me.
And golly, we got Astrid back, looking like Astrid.
You did.
You got that at least.
You got a one in the win column there.
Yeah, a little
That's
good
right.
news sprinkled in there because I don't know that we got much else.
Yeah, I think
We have-
those two plans.
We have a map too. We could set up an ambush at one of the dig sites. When they show up, they dig all day, they're tired, they go to sleep, and then there's that.
I mean,
approach.
I guess my only fear is that vampire Dracula will smell the blood and descend upon us.
It's like a great white shark. He's like, someone's
right.
bleeding.
We don't know how thirsty this fool is.
He's like flying this way and then he just kind of veers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
know.
I like the idea of I think the only idea that I can think of is wait a minute. Oh God.
Magic?
Magic.
Oh God.
Oh God. I can turn so the same spell that can turn specifically human flesh to gold. I can actually turn all the gold to flesh.
No.
Yeah, meat salad.
You just
We
end
could
up with a
make
bunch of turkey cutlets.
Right. We could make a bunch of like meat piles out of the gold. And I don't know. That's
about as far as
I'm
you got with
listening.
that.
that's all I got. Unless Haas can come up with some mayonnaise real quick.
No, if we wanted to do some interesting magic, though, as far as luring Dracula to them, we could do something like where we take Fez, as much as I love him, but we could do a magics to him to make the Dracula be like, oh, Haas is nearby, but it's really just Fez, and then he goes and he blares at him, but it's all of the bad guys instead.
Okay.
Ooh,
Like put a
yeah.
little I'm sorry apology card on Fez and send him to Dracula's castle.
Well, why don't we we could just deliver a card to Okay, so hear me out on this.
Mm,
David, get ready for this session to last for 10 weeks.
go for it. Let's get the schemes rolling here. Let's go.
So, all right, follow me on this one. We draft a letter from Haas to Dracky, and we're like, I want to meet you, MEET. And
I like that you had to specify that.
yeah, well, you know, we've been talking
And
about a lot of
plus, we
different
have
kinds of meat.
specified already that it's Dear Vampire Daddy.
Correct.
Right,
Dear Vampire
right.
Daddy, please
Right.
meet MEET, me at this location on this day or whatever, or send them like a copy of we send them a copy of the map where we're like, we know where your shit is and we're coming to get it. And Dracula goes out and he kills all the guys that we're after, thinking that Haas is among them.
Or that he sent them, like he's
Or that
behind
he
it.
sent them, yeah. He's
Like-
like, I hired a bunch of fools.
You
Yeah.
can make Lord Dyer look like Haas.
I could
Yeah.
also do
Ooh.
that.
Shit.
I'm very good at magic. That
You
now that we-
are.
And Dracula's
Look
like,
at
I
me.
told you
look
never to
great."
return.
right.
Be like, this is what you get, Vampire Daddy. I'm taking your gold copy of map, and then we have to magic Dyer.
That's right.
Hope
here.
you're vampire enough to meet us at this fight.
Vampire enough.
Boom.
Who don't
Solid-
even try it, Vampire Daddy. We're so ready.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually like that plan.
That's pretty
Right.
solid.
Nah,
It's
not
not a
gonna
bad
lie.
plan. It's not a bad one.
And I feel like
the only
with
weak
Grant's
point is it
practice-
hinges on Grant successfully casting a spell. That's the only weak point.
But it's the same spell he's
When has
cast
that ever failed
multiple
us?
times.
It is literally
Yeah.
the only spell that I can.
It's
So I
his
feel
one
like the
spell.
difficulty should come down even more because he's so good at it now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we should be
Yeah.
down
Dialed
to
it
like
in. He's
10
dialed that,
this time. Yeah.
Plus,
Right.
plus, I also don't care if anything goes wrong because it's on Lord Dire.
That's right.
He turns to margarine, that's still a win.
Hey, win-win.
Win-win,
Vampires
yeah.
love margarine. The only thing
Right.
I don't know. I guess I'd want like. Yeah. I think this is fine. I can't think of it. I can't.
This is a great scheme.
Nothing could go wrong.
Okay.
It's perfect. At the very least, no matter how this goes, great finale. I mean,
Right.
It'll be
Definitely.
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're literally trying to manipulate Dracula into doing the shit that we want to do.
by sending him a passive aggressive letter framing Lord Dire.
It's a Thanksgiving themed solution.
And I feel
For
like
real.
Haas would know like all the things that would trigger Dracula, like all the little like he hates certain turn of phrase, like
Oh yeah.
Like I hate it when they say
Yeah.
meet MEET.
Just want to
Like,
touch base.
What's
Dracula.
up, Vampire
I
Dad?
hate that.
How they get back
Touch
at me
base.
ASAP.
We'll put a pin in
shit.
this and we can synergize some solutions
Right.
to me stealing your
Whoa.
gold.
Per our last conversation.
I hope this letter finds you well. All right. Very good. So,
Yeah, I can't. I mean, Dracula's probably. I mean, he might get pissed off at us when he, I mean, or he might find out that we do it, but that's a problem for 2 years from now.
Yeah.
that's a problem for tomorrow, me.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so the other operative questions at play then are in terms of building out the spell. So you are going to use your actual magic spell that you've learned as a sorcerer, which is good. That would be illusions of the mind and body.
Nice.
So that starts at 6. And then we've got duration. I imagine you would want like a full day on that or an hour. Which would you prefer?
Probably like a full day.
Yeah.
I would say that. I mean, if I'm like, oh, Dracula's like, based on what Haas, what would you say? Is Dracula gonna like get this letter and then bust out, or is he gonna be like, I'm gonna wait a little bit?
I think I can word it in a way that he'll like just bust out through the nearest window immediately.
Okay,
Like I'll know exactly how to word it
I'll be
for
like,
that.
back forward.
Yeah, he's just like he's at dinner and he's just like
Bat.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
bounces,
Bat
bounces
just
immediately.
leaps in the air and bat.
Bat.
That's exactly how I was imagining it.
Okay, yeah. If we can bait Dracula that well, hours all hours.
Well, that will be
Almost.
a feat. We'll leave that up to Frederick's
Okay.
abilities, but yeah, that will be the goal.
And then
But
are
so
Delivering this letter via fence.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
something.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
probably
other
the
question.
safest way to do it, I guess.
mhm. Which brings up the other question here of how close do you want to be to all this? Because magic can transcend space. Like you can technically try and cast a spell on a person in another dimension or another time stream. But obviously that costs a lot more than if you can
Figured.
see the person with unaided sight, or you can cast a spell on someone you can see through a telescope, or you could even just be in the next city over and try and cast it from there.
I don't know what kind of psychopath playing this game would try to cast a spell on someone in another dimension.
That's actually what predicates the entire novel that forms the game, is that
That's true.
they spell nap somebody from the 20th century.
I
So-
can't imagine how many time streams turned to margarine and the time it
kind
took
of
to cast
psycho?
that spell. Look, for real. My God,
How
I can't
many
even
times
cast a
has just been
spell.
snuffed out?
Totally, I can't even cast a spell on a friend sitting next to me to give him some fucking Groucho Marx eyebrows.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn your eyebrows into living caterpillars that are permanently attached to your face.
Holy shit!
I can feel them squirming.
Forever.
Yeah.
Turn your eye fluid into ants.
Oh my God.
Just
Jesus.
constantly ants.
Ants in my eyes,
Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah.
All right.
I do actually have a telescope though.
Okay, good. Well,
There
I
is.
was gonna say a telescope would work, or I mean, I can make a sniper rifle with magic also, maybe.
Scope it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
watching through a telescope would be very Dracula appropriate, actually, right?
Because
So
we would
Totally.
have to find out which site they're at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'd probably want to head up there, find which site they're at, send the letter with
Yep.
Fez, and then from boulders atop a ridge, watch the
Yeah,
everything
totally.
unfold.
Watch the fun play out.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'm lamenting so hard that we don't have an invisible fairy who can fly around.
Yeah, that would have been helpful.
Would have been real nice, but that's okay. She's having a
she's
blast,
having a
and
time stream romance.
she's living her best life in 2020 or some such year.
2020.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a great year. What a
Hey,
wonderful time.
In the Falkenstein continuity, who's to say?
That is true. That is true. All right. Well, yeah, I think this is a great plan, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Okay, cool.
Let's get to doing it.
All right, so back to the time question. So 1 hour or 1 day in terms of duration?
I think 1 hour, and I would like to cast it while we're watching from behind the boulders.
Certainly. You could even make it 30 minutes, up to 30 minutes if you wanted to.
If I'm if I know, or if Haas tells me that Dracula is like hella fast in bat cloud form, and like is gonna turn into mist and rip all these dudes' head off with water molecules, I'll be like, just give him 5 minutes. But but if we can pad our runtime, so to speak, a little bit with an hour, I think that's fine as well.
Okay. Now, do you want to just affect the visual appearance, or do you want to have him sound like Haas as well?
Well, probably this is the thing, because he's a fairy, and if I don't know much about fairies, but I do know that they can see through glamour, right? Well, I guess mine's not a glamour; it's a
right. Yeah, sorcery is kind of a
different animal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably have him sound like Haas as well.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, how long has it been, Haas, since you've seen Dracula in this timeline?
It's not long, right, Dave?
Like probably a week or two.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And
okay,
he's
so
still
yeah.
really-
So yeah, this will be a sick burn.
For
we're
real.
back.
He's still very bad
Yeah,
right now.
I'm back, and I'm back for my inheritance.
Gotta do the
I
whole
left
thing, dude.
I left some things there. I'm gonna pick them up.
I've returned for my effects.
All right.
Hey, I left a few things when I fled
Hey.
in terror. I just want to come back and get them. If you could just put them all in a box.
Some DVDs.
Right, yeah. I left my copy of National
If
Treasure.
you could just bring them to this secret gold spot that you definitely don't want me to be at, that would be
Right.
great.
It's a remote control for my 13-inch TV VCR combo.
I left my CD changer at your place.
Yeah,
If I can
I
come
had
back and get it.
I had a gift card. I don't know if you used it. All right, so yeah, maybe just like an hour, I think is fine, and obviously we'll be within sight range of him.
Yeah, we'll probably know generally where the castle is. One of us can watch that direction and see his furious flapping as he's getting closer. And
Yeah, we'll wait for the cloud of bats.
Exactly. There it is. All right, cool.
ooh, he's mad.
Ooh, I can tell by the shape of that flocking pattern that he is pissed.
Totally.
It looked like a giant middle finger. All right, so good. I've
So
got
what's
your total there. 16 minus 8 for your great sorcery ability. So you only have to generate 8 points
Nothing can happen. Nothing can go wrong.
of
Yeah, that's
pentacle,
perfect.
since you're trying to affect the senses, right?
Okay, and there's nothing I can do. Just to clarify, I think I ask this every time I'm about to cast a spell,
Yeah,
but there's nothing I can do from my own hand that will affect this in any way.
correct.
I just make
All
it sure.
down to the sorcery deck.
Okay, phenomenal.
Okay,
She's a kind deck.
she is.
It's never ever been a problem. So
No.
It's never been boring. That's for sure.
Well, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this turns out.
I am too. There's nothing, literally nothing can go wrong from manipulating Dracula into killing our enemies.
What you call a foolproof plan. All right, so second component of this scheme is Frederick writing a sufficiently insulting message that's going to get Dracula out there. So let's see. I mean, perversely, it could be a social graces test because it's sort of like the opposite of social graces. It's knowing exactly what not to say and then saying it anyway, but in a way that like seems like you're being polite. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Although if you can think of another ability that might apply, I'm certainly open to that suggestion.
Let me see. Well, I mean, I'm of course going to try to work in favor of my hand. So my suggestion would be if it'd be possible to treat it as an emotional activity. I'm not sure if that would be appropriate. If it isn't, then I think swords as a social activity would probably be the best one. Actually, well, mental could work too, but I would say social or emotional.
I think since you're trying to, like leverage his emotions, I think it could be social graces, which is normally swords, but we would use cups. So,
okay,
yeah, that works for me.
All right.
You're really trying to like shove some salt in that very fresh wound in this timeline.
And also Haas is probably in a weird way relishing this because it's all the stuff that he would like to have said over those many months, and it's just
yeah.
Ooh, I've been writing this letter for a while now. Like, it's just
it's like already written. You just pull it out of your pocket.
Yeah. Oh, that was fast. Okay, so in that case, I am going to play the King of Cups.
Ooh.
And how does that do? Because I could play a little bit more.
Okay, You'll probably want to, because this is going to be an opposed test. It's not going to have a set difficulty, but rather I'm going to throw down an Ace of Cups.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So, let's see here. In that case, I'm going to throw down, let's just say 3 of Cups.
Okay. Cool. So that's good enough for a partial success. Let's see, you would need to get to a 22. What is your social graces?
Social graces is good.
Is good. Okay, so let's see, what did you just play? You played a 3, plus a king is 17, plus a good is 6, so that gets you up to 23. So that would be a full success.
Full success, awesome.
All right.
All right.
Whew, okay.
So far, everything's working out.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, I was sitting on that Ace of Cups. So when you're like, maybe we could do cups, I'm like, yes. All right. All right. So you got a full success. So you the night before, you head out, you craft a deliciously devilish missive. And so part 3, of course, will be going up into the mountains and locating the diggings, if you will, and then dispatching Fez with the letter to Castle Dracula.
We've effectively become like, what would it be called? Like murderous shit posters.
Yeah. We are fighting Dracula with Colin Robbins. Like whatever. Like we're just God. Like also your mother. Like yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dracula gets a nice closure when he confronts Haas.
Right.
That's
right.
true.
Oh, if this goes your way, then Dracula will think Haas is dead. In your own timeline.
Again,
so,
yeah.
There you go.
Bonuses.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so very good. So how do you want to go about, this is a question for the group, how do you want to go about locating the diggings?
Who has the map? Astrid?
Yeah,
Or
I have
Iskander?
the map, which means we have the map. But I do know, like, Haas and I have good, like, decent perception scores. Are there any other skills that you guys have that might be good for, like, tracking or, like, traversing or any of that stuff?
No.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I
like,
don't think so.
I've got
Like the gruff outdoorsman actually just got lost. So
right.
Does anybody have natural sciences?
I've got education,
Yeah, I have education is my great skill.
Mhm.
courage. I could courage the woods.
Okay. Yeah, there's really no tracking or hunting type or navigation type talents, or abilities. So yeah,
just
kind
trade
of
on our averageness of it. Like,
Yeah.
oh look, wagon rights. I mean, anything like obvious. 'Cause you're not like looking for like, oh, there's bent leaf right here and so on. Whatever
To be
else.
fair, it was a big team. It's 11 dudes and a bunch of like pack
Right.
animals and stuff, right? And wagons
true.
and whatnot.
That's true.
So could we lean on a couple of us having like perception to try to get through that?
Yeah, I think perception would fit in for sure.
And maybe
And,
asking around too, like as we go from
yeah.
village to village, kind of getting, oh yeah, they went that way, or I'm assuming
As you
these
can tell, we are
sites-
poor lost foreigners. Where are the
Yeah.
other foreigners?
And
Right.
Iskander, do you have you said you have a telescope?
I do. I have a tiny 20x telescope that is the collapsible kind. So
Dope.
That's pretty
Okay.
impressive.
Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow.
Yeah,
Right,
totally.
right.
That's really cool. All right. Yeah. I don't have a sniper, so I'd have to probably-
Iskander will probably give us a play-by-play. That's
Right,
like,
yeah.
what's happening now, Iskander?
Exactly.
No, it would be better
For
if
real.
Haas was doing it though, because then we could have the full on what's his bucket like version of it, where he's like, I'm not going to show you the dude being eaten by the fucking animals, but I will narrate it to you while I watch it. Like Werner Herzog version.
Yeah.
Of it.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah. That would be good.
And now this man is having his entrails pulled out through his mouth, learning the true meaning of pain.
The cloud of bats
Yeah.
becomes a man.
Coalescing out of nothing,
Yeah.
as we all must, come
And-
from the great ether.
And just as quickly, the blood mist disappears. Is that a good Werner Herzog?
That's good.
That's
It
pretty
was
good.
really decent.
Excellent.
Yeah,
not bad.
That'll
I'm-
work.
I moonlight as a Werner Herzog.
Oh,
audio
good.
guy.
Good. All right. So yeah, we'll say charisma for asking around in town, and then perception for looking for tracks. The perception one, as you point out, won't be too difficult. I think it'll be finding where to look that will be the difficult part, which will be the asking around piece. So who would like to take the lead on that?
Pass.
Who is charismatic? Is that
My
normally
charisma
Brexta's?
is good. So,
Okay.
Yeah, usually Brexta's is better than mine, but I think I am now the charismatic one of the party.
Well, as a Swede, you'd probably be the least problematic anyway. You're not like an obvious foreigner like Grant.
And
You're
I'm
not
a
Turk.
tiny lady, so
You're
I'm
not a
also
German.
very like non-threatening.
Right.
Little-
Austrian.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Oh, Austrian. Yeah.
But knowing that charisma is cups, first thing that I need to do is drop my sun card, which
Ooh.
is, to be fair, like holler out to Brexta since she cannot be with us today. Her favorite card because it lets her hold 5 cards in her hand.
That's right.
So I will draw some replacements.
Also appropriate when dealing with vampires. You know,
Right.
that sun.
Yeah, it's true. Like, if only it worked that way. And then, of course, I didn't get cups, but I did get another major. So let me see what it does.
Okay.
Okay.
If it's that one that lets you switch suits, that would be handy.
It's just one that makes me rich for the rest of the session, so it's not very helpful.
Hey, I found
guess
the
I could just
gold.
give money to people and be like, "Here's a tip for you. Where did they go?"
Yeah, we found the gold. Boom, easy, done.
There you go. Done.
I have the lovers, which gives us a minute to switch hands as we see fit.
Oh, we can all swap cards around.
We can all
So we
swap
can give,
cards
like,
around.
Haas all of the
It's not a bad idea.
Perceptio cards, and like me all the cups and stuff like that. And then you the punching in the dick card just in case we need it.
Yeah, the cups and I feel like swords would probably be good for you too because of I mean you're doing social stuff, asking people what they've
But he
seen,
said specifically it's
stuff.
charisma, which is cuppy doos.
Okay, so we could give you all the cups.
Yeah.
I
don't.
have a fuck ton of swords.
My hand is
Anyone
garbage.
wants them?
So I'll take whatever garbage cards you guys don't want. But
And I do have wands if anyone needs those.
We shouldn't discuss this though unless I play the lovers because it's
We gotta
cheating.
start-
Otherwise,
Hurry up.
Got my
So-
timer
so
ready
am
to
I-
go. Are you gonna play
okay.
it?
So am I gonna play it or not? Fuck it, I'm playing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do it.
play
Yeah.
Why
there
not?
it goes. 1 minute on the clock.
all
All
right.
right. I need cups. Who needs swords? Does anyone need swords?
Wait, can you guys just put your cards all out on the table and then pick
Yeah.
up what you need?
Sure.
There's a swords.
I think you accidentally threw away my other sword. But it's fine.
Does anyone need
Oh
pentacles?
shit! A king of wands.
Yeah.
I'll take that. If I
Do
can
it.
grab it
Right
behind my
click.
hand, right click it, take
So
it.
I only have pentacles if someone needs that. Anyone need pentacles?
I do not. I've got an 8 of wands. That's the highest card I have. Does anyone want it?
Mental and intellectual.
8 of wands. That's a good ass kicking card. And pentacles is good for perception, so you'll want to hold on to that anyway.
Okay.
15 seconds left.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't have anything to trade for the swords.
All my
Okay.
swords just coming
take
back
it.
to me.
Oh no!
Does everyone-
It didn't work.
Wait, what? Oh,
And time's up.
Yeah, I'll take them back.
damn.
I
Okay.
will. So I can drop a major arcana to just get a new card, right?
A new hand, yeah.
You new
A
hand.
whole new
yeah.
hand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But what if I have 2 arcanas?
Oh, yes. If you have 2, then you should discard 1 and draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna discard Moon
Okay.
and draw one. Okay, cool.
Ha.
Okay.
So I had to draw a new card
Mm-hmm.
because I lost a card, and I got a better major arcana for myself. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, and draw a new one just because I can have 5. So delightful. Oh, it's beautiful. So I got as my new one, the Magician.
Ooh.
Which does allow me to focus all of my energy on the task at hand and convert the suit of one card in my hand to the suit of the ability being used.
Excellent.
So,
The one.
keeping that in mind, for asking around, I will do that and drop my Ace of Pentacles that I
Damn.
just got.
All right.
It kind of worked then.
It kind of worked because I
Nice.
lost a card, so I got to draw a new one.
Good. And you have a good charisma, you said?
I do have a good charisma to start with.
Okay. Now these are suspicious mountain folk, so they're not terribly excited about talking to strangers. So the threshold would be a great. You would need a great success. So between your good charisma and the ace of cups, that gives you a 21 against the 8, which would normally be a high success. See if there's anything here I can do to foil you. Let's see. Yeah, I do have some cups, but nothing really foilable. If I still had that Ace of Cups, I could do something, but
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you do indeed ask around through every village you go through, and obviously a large party of foreigners with wagons and pack animals did not go unnoticed, and so you are put on the right track, basically.
Awesome.
Almost to the very place where where you can begin to track them up into the uninhabited wilds of the mountains. Of course, with the high success, you are warned repeatedly against venturing too far up into the pass, and certainly never after sundown. And indeed, an old crone with a very prodigious mole on her upper lip passes not just like a cross, but like an actual whatever the Romanian version of like a mojo pouch would be, like, it's got like saints icons on it, and it's been blessed by a priest and all this other kind of stuff.
It has some sort of ancient knuckle bone in it from
it's got the knuckle bone of a local
figure.
saint. Yeah. Exactly. So so with injunctions to wear this at all times as defense against the demon that haunts the pass, and so on and so forth. So
I'm like,
yes,
do you have
course.
3
Thank
more?
Yeah, I was gonna say that has Grant written all over it.
Totally.
Do you have 3 more? No, not for all them. For me.
for me. That's right. All right. So I'll say also with the high success that the tracking difficulty is a mere average to track these guys. So whoever wants to take the lead on that may do so. It's perception, and it's, did we say it was swords? Pentacles.
Okay. I can do that. So I have great perception.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Okay, so
actually, you don't have to spend anything then. That's an automatic high success.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yay!
Because I don't have any pentacles to play against you. So.
Okay, and no benefit from upping that to a full success.
No. Well, it's a high success automatically. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, so indeed, the directions that Astrid gets at the local tavern are so precise that you find those wagon tracks going up a muddy, shepherd's footpath with no difficulty. It's been raining recently. It's quite misty up here in the mountains, and you just follow this wagon path up into the dark and forbidding mountains around the Borgo Pass as ominous storm clouds are gathering overhead.
I'm getting pretty nervous, honestly.
We all turn our clothes inside out. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I also am like Frederick may not understand or concern himself with the gravitas of the situation, but Grant certainly does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give whatever charm I got from the Romanian woman to Haas, just to be like, if this spell goes wrong and Dracula comes after you, hopefully this will save your head from coming off your body.
Oh, how nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Haas.
Oh, it's quite fashionable, too. Ooh, look at me. I am Romanian. Ooh.
It smells like garlic, but it was like that when I got it.
There probably are some garlic clove stuff in there.
Right. It smelled like that when I got it.
I feel like Grant would be like, you got yourself a knuckle bone, you got yourself some garlic. I mean, little rain, you'll have yourself some soup.
Oh, hell yeah, buddy.
Don't throw that out.
That's right.
You gonna eat that, partner?
Okay, so stew.
Got some good gristle on that piece.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good gristle on that Saint's relic.
That's right. More beans, Mr. Taggart.
Yes,
all
good Saint.
That's the... All right, well.
So, in due course, you begin to smell the aroma of a campfire and hear the clink and clatter of shovels and pickaxes at work. There are plenty of places to position yourself to, kind of circle around and get up into a good ambush spot. But I assume at this point, Astrid, you want to dispatch Fez.
Yeah, now that we know the location and we can append that to the letter.
Put the GPS coordinates on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, if you're brave enough, meet me here. Yeah.
Does it look? What does this dig site look like? Did they just start? Are they halfway through?
Well, you haven't yet gotten a look at it. You can just hear the sounds and smell the smells.
So we're kind of climbing up the hill right now to.
Exactly right. So we'll need a successful tinkering feat from anybody who wants to try that.
I can handle that for us.
Mm-hmm.
My tinkering is great.
All right, and that is a Pentacles task. I'll say you're sending an automated hat off into the wilderness, trying to essentially program it to go to this castle.
I just imagine we see it heading off, Godspeed, little hat, and then 20 yards away, this owl swoops down.
Oh shit!
All right, so I'm just imagining. Oh, just look at this little crabling, so cute.
Right. Just walks in a straight path and then falls down a cliff.
Fuck. All right, so this will be an exceptional difficulty, which means you need 10, and you say you have a great tinkering, which is 8. So, yeah.
Okay.
We'll need some pentacles.
Or
ideally.
just 2 cards.
Or just 2 cards for a partial success. We would need 15 for a full success.
Okay. Well, I don't have any major arcana, and I don't have any pentacles. So the highest I could get with a hand dump is a 12. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I should probably shoot for just the 10.
Yeah. Unless you're just trying to dump your hand.
I'm not.
Okay.
I kind of like the hand, but what can you do? So
yeah.
So let's just start dumping some stuff off here.
I was gonna say, man, I the only cards I have, pretty much. I mean, I've got 2 pentacles. But I'm poor at tinkering, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm poor at stealth, so us sneaking up here might screw us. So we got to bear that in mind.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, we're not giving you the sneaky role.
Yeah, I feel like okay, you stay here and program the hat. We're gonna sneak over there.
Right.
And I'm like, oh yes, here, take this telescope.
Right.
It works like this.
Say.
Schlink. You see?
All right. So I will say then that with the partial success, it will reach the castle, but you'll have no idea when it's going to get there or how long it's going to take Dracula to get from the castle to here. Which is going to have some bearing on Grant casting his spell, of course.
So an hour may not be enough time.
Yeah, we might have to increase the difficulty of your spell, which never goes wrong.
Yeah, I'm an impeccable spellcaster, so I'm not worried at all. But what's the next bump up? Is it like a week?
So bumping it up would take it up to a day, and that would make it a 10 difficulty.
Okay, I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like 2 more points, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's 2 points?
What's 2 points? We'll find out.
What is it?
What are 2 points?
Worst case, if we think that somehow the Fez didn't get there or something's going horribly awry, we just switch your magic spell to some sort of firework flare thing that shows him the location.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this, David. Before anything else happens, I guess. What are how would harmonics help or hinder me?
Well, I'll just say that the only time we've had harmonics in this game so far is when it was imposed on you by a major arcana card, And that is one of the factors that turned the safe into talking margarine, sentient margarine.
Okay, fair.
I can't remember which thing exactly did that because you had multiple major arcana cards. But yeah, harmonics have a way of fucking up your intended outcome.
Okay. All right, fair.
They sort of poison your what you're going for, because like an illusion is pentacles, I guess, right? And so, or cups or whatever, we'll figure it out. But anyway, whatever it is, if you were to throw in, say, wands, it might add some weird physical component to the spell that you weren't planning on.
Interesting.
That kind of thing. So okay, so the fez is off. So yeah, all that leaves is a stealth feat to sneak up and get a good view of the camp. So who wants to be the scout?
I guess it should be me, since I'm going to be casting the spell anyways.
Okay, so that's a wands feat.
If anyone else wants to come, I'm not stopping you.
I had to dump my wands, and my stealth is only average, so I don't know that it is a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a terribly challenging feat. He has posted some of his guys as lookouts just because he is wary of an attack. So it's just, you're just going to have to get a good success.
Okay, so I'm average at stealth.
And stealth is wands.
Okay, so let me see here. So what is average? 6?
Average is 4.
4, that's right. And I need...
good is a 6.
Okay.
Oh, so you just really need 2.
Or a partial.
2 wands. Okay, well, all I have is an 8.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a high success then.
Actually, you know what?
It prevents him from fucking with you if he wants to throw some wands at you.
I'm gonna take. Can I take that back?
Sure.
I'm gonna take that card back, and I'm gonna dump out 2 cards that I don't want because they're both 2. And I need something. I need something better.
Okay.
So I'm gonna draw 2 cards.
All right.
Okay.
Anybody else want to creep up?
I think so. Let's try to see what I'm going to play here. So I would need 2 wands for what kind of success? Is that just a good success?
It's a partial, but that's all you really need.
Okay, so all right. In that case, yeah, I'm going to play the Hermit.
Oh.
Which will allow me to change any hand into another hand, or any type of... Actually, it allows me to change Pentacles into any other type.
Oh, okay.
And so, and then I was going to play a 2 Pentacles, and that's now a 2 of Wands.
Cool. And even Iskander, I mean, if you've got a 4 of Wands or better, you could get a success.
I mean, I do have a 4 of Wands.
Oh, there you go.
So what the heck? Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Right, fine. I'm not going to be by myself, so I'm going to dump 2 cards. Because fuck that.
Like Grizzly's like climbing up by himself, and then like one at a time we're all like climbing up after him. Like, hey.
Yeah.
We get a better success than he did, so we sneak up on him. You see anything? You see it.
Yeah, I like Astrid being the last one, and it's just like, and then there's like a wolf in the distance, like,
Totally.
Here I go.
I'm small again.
Guys,
I cannot be around predators.
Get carried
talking about owl
by a hawk. Yeah.
Okay, so the 4 of you crest this little rise. You're in amongst some, nice mature pines, so you're well concealed. And you're looking down into a little divot in amongst other hillocks where a campfire has been lit. A couple canvas tents have been erected, and some of these, you see Lord Dyer. He's wearing, of course, this like heavy wool, like military officer's overcoat, with like the double-breasted row of buttons and the epaulets and everything, and his cavalry boots, and he's pacing back and forth, barking orders at his flunkies as they're throwing clods of dirt up in the air, digging furiously, you know. And then there's, you know, guards posted with their rifles, you know, just keeping an eye out for trouble, but they don't seem to have spotted you. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna get out Iskander's telescope and start surveying the area. I'd just like to get a rough idea of maybe how long they've been there, and I really want to familiarize myself as much as possible with Lord Dyer's movements. Like, I'm paying attention to the way he walks. I'm paying attention to the way he moves, the way he talks, if he has any like tells, anything like that, because I really want to get a feel for what I'm going to have to change to make him look like Haas.
I'd say that's good enough to reduce the difficulty of your spell by 1 point, though.
Brap.
Now you only have to get a 9.
9.
And let's see. Let's figure out. Did I say earlier what an illusion spell is? Is it a mind affecting spell?
I believe it's. Hold on. I think it's diamond. No, pentacles. Is that right?
Pentacles, mental. Yep. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So we'll need 9 points worth of pentacles or some harmonics in there if you want to really rush it. I just want to point out that the whole finale here hinges on Grizzly Grant successfully casting a spell. I don't know how we got here, but
oh Jesus!
By choice.
By choice.
We wanted this.
Yeah.
I want it known.
Would it reduce the difficulty more because not needing as long of a time if one of our perceptive peeps, because I may have drawn better cards when we had to draw new cards this time, could keep an eye out for the potential approach of the Dracula so that he didn't have to do the whole like full day thing. He could go back to the 1 hour thing. Certainly.
I'd say if somebody was willing to climb a tree and take the telescope with them, that would be good enough to allow you to keep an eye out on the horizon. And with a successful perception feat, I would allow enough forewarning for Grant to decide, okay, I'm going to change this up.
Because I could do that. My perception's not as good as Haas, but I got better cards, so I think I could manage it.
Okay.
Yeah, my cards aren't geared towards perception right now, so
okay.
But yeah, I don't think Haas is going to be doing it.
So yeah, I wish I wish more than anything I could play from my hands because I literally have a 9 of pentacles.
No. No.
It's staring me in the face. I don't know.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. And of course, you will have to toss the telescope down once you spot Dracula's approach, so that they can, zero in on where Dyer is for the spell casting.
Okay.
So I can volunteer to run it back and forth, I guess.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
you could just reach up.
Yeah.
Just reach up and grab it.
Pass the baton.
Like I think I've climbed really far
race.
up a tree, and you just reach up there and like take the telescope from
A
me.
little Christmas tree.
Yeah. Okay. So as the sun begins to go down, the veil is thrown into shadow. But at last there comes a cry of triumph, and some, heavily bolted, ancient-looking chests are hauled up. Dyer strides over. Of course, he's a couple hundred yards away. So if anyone's, obviously Astrid's got the telescope, so you're only able to get the little tiny view of this. But he's, obviously pleased, and you hear the delayed report of a pistol shot as the lock is shot off, and you can see Dyer is probably examining the contents of the chest, and then you see him ordering his men, and they load the chest into the back of the wagon. They're obviously groaning with effort from however much is inside the chest. So it's a lot of rich stuff, as the Goonies would say. And and then the sun goes down and the full moon comes up.
When they put it in their trunk, or when they load the treasure into their cart or whatever, can we see inside of it? Does it look like they have like 12 and this was the last one, or?
Hard to say from this distance.
Okay.
With if you get the telescope on it, it may be helpful, but in determining that. But yeah,
I'm trying to save my perception for the Dracula.
Yeah,
indeed.
Please.
So let's do a perception feat for Astrid.
All right. My perception is good.
Okay.
And I will play the king, baby.
Ooh. All right. So that takes you up to 20. I'd say at nighttime, you do have a nice big gibbous moon. So I'd put that at exceptional, but even with exceptional, that is a high success.
Haha.
Okay. Well done. Ooh, if only I had a pentacle in my hand. All right. I guess I could be really petty and just throw out a non-pentacle card and reduce your high success to a full success.
I mean, you might as well, right?
I'll throw down cards too. You want
I feel like Grant needs all the help he can get. So. Okay.
There's nothing standing between me and damnation at this point.
All right, so Astrid, you are scanning the sky, and as fortune would have it, the moon is rising directly behind the point on the horizon where Castle Dracula is located, and so you see the cloud of bats as it rises up, silhouetted by the moon, as Danny Elfman music begins playing ominously in the background. And
I can tell by the soundtrack that is very angry Dracula. Here's the telescope. Oh my goodness.
All right, so the telescope is passed down to Grant. So Grant, you do have enough time to make a last-minute adjustment, and you could take it. It depends on how you want to time this. You could. You're already shaving 2 points back off of this thing to take it down from a day to under half an hour.
Okay, good.
But if you want to really live on the edge, you could shave another point off of it and just have it be momentary.
Oh, no, I don't think that's. I think that's. Look, this is my prediction. I'm big on predictions.
Okay, let's hear it.
My prediction is that the first card that we draw is going to be a major arcana.
I don't know where you're getting that from. That's some bullshit right there.
The second is that if I shaved it down to moments, Dracula might be like, Haas, you're last after I kill your 10 other guys. And then
he'd be like, where's Haas?
Right, exactly. So
there he is, up on that hill.
Yeah, Dracula with his incredible perceptions.
It was like force zooms in on.
He sees the reflection of the moon off the telescope, and we're like, "Oh shit!
Oh, no!"
Do you think he saw us? I don't think he saw us.
Scanner
He's like pointing right at us.
to light up a cigar. You're like, what?
Right? Yeah, what? It was like Lewis and Christmas Vacation with his toupee on fire. All right, so. I would normally say go big or go home, but this time let's go small and maybe
let's go small and stay home. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, hopefully go home.
All right, good enough. All right, are we ready for this?
I've never been so nervous.
No, I'm excited because however this ends, great. It's going to be great, no matter what.
It's true.
Something awesome is about to happen.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Before we draw the card, I want to say it's been a pleasure playing with all of you.
Yeah, because we're going to die in real life if we fail, so we'll never see each other again.
Did I not tell you about that? Yeah, sorry.
Right, yeah.
That's
we already know I'm the problem player.
I have you all wired into a neural feedback loop, so I'll be able to kill you remotely. Sorry about that.
Wait, I thought those were headphones you sent me.
Yeah,
Nope.
It's been an honor serving with you all.
Come on, man. No one lives forever.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Let's
First card.
First card.
Okay, it's a wands. The wands. So
So not helpful, but not hurtful.
Not helpful, but not hurtful.
Yeah.
What is wands? Emotions or social status?
Physical.
Physical. Okay.
And what are we looking for?
I have to. We're looking for pentacles. Also, pentacles.
Pentacles.
Also, I have to keep track of the time here. So, because Astrid got a full success, I'm going to say that Dracula's ETA is 12 minutes. So,
okay.
So that's 2 minutes.
That's
so we're
2
down
minutes.
to 10.
If it couldn't get any more stressful.
I know.
Right?
Okay, so that's cups, right?
Queen of Cups. All right.
God
8
damn it.
minutes.
Come on. Oh my God.
Is Astrid still in the tree or did you climb down?
No, I just passed down the telescope. I'm just sitting.
Yeah,
You're
she's
watching
just sitting in the
bats
tree.
get closer and closer.
Yeah. Looking at the bats, looking at Grant, looking at the bats, looking at Grant.
The bats are getting bigger and
Like,
bigger and bigger.
okay, so his sleeve has exploded off at this point, just like
Right,
for
yeah.
the magic. You know.
All right. That is
That's wands.
Knight of Wands.
God damn it. Come on.
So how many minutes have elapsed?
6 minutes left.
6 minutes. Yeah, we're at the halfway point now.
Jesus Christ.
God.
All right. I'll
I'm
just
hoping
point
for
out.
Major Arcana now.
I'll just
Please
point out you
no.
only need 7 points. You've already got 3 points there if you want to use harmonics. So
God, no. I do
technically
not.
you only need a 4 of Pentacles or higher. What is this? This is
That's
the
a
world. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
That's your major arcana.
There's
That
our
is your
major arcana.
arcana. Yeah.
It was not first, and the world does not make me shit a brick immediately.
Yeah, it has boobies, so it can't be bad.
It can't be that bad, for sure.
No. Okay, this isn't too bad. I mean, this would have been bad under certain circumstances, but it's not going to affect you too badly. Elemental magics are strong in this area. Makes sense. Convert the
That
suit.
actually is fair.
Convert the suit of one card chosen at random from those drawn so far to wands. The only one that's not a wand is the Queen of Cups, so that becomes Queen
So now
of
you have
Wands.
more
Queen
wands.
of Wands. Okay, that's not bad. But is that all it does?
That's all it does.
And take
Wow.
some of your time.
Does it eat up another
Take
2
some
minutes?
fucking
Well, it
time.
did eat up 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So-
So what, we got 4 minutes left?
4 minutes left. Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Oh, what is this?
It's
Oh,
cups.
cups. Damn it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just give me pentacles.
1, 2, 3,
Please.
4. Okay.
Okay, before you draw
All right.
this one,
Yes.
because this is our last card
This is the last. Well,
Go
last
for
card.
harmonics.
Last card before Dracula arrives. Yes.
before
Right.
Dracula arrives.
Harmonics.
right. Okay.
Just make him the weirdest, woobliest Haas you can.
I just want to say,
He just had
Nation
anime hair.
Haas.
That's all.
yeah, I'm focusing so hard. Grant is praying to whatever. He's like, God, I wish Brexta was here. she might have done something. We don't know what, but she might have done something.
Meanwhile, she and the time traveler are in 1985 watching the premiere of Back to the Future at
Right.
Grauman's
She's
Chinese
like-
Theater.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Come on.
Here
Pentacles.
we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Wands.
Is that wands?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So many
Okay.
wands.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The major arcana don't count for that. Okay. So now, indeed, the swarm of bats has landed in amongst the workers and coalesced. And so, Frederick, you see the form of your ex-father-in-law standing there in all of his demonic glory. You know, he is tall and aged looking with an impressive handlebar mustache. You know, although you can't see it from this distance, he also has hairy palms. But yeah, no, he's you know, sort of in a crouch. His hands are extended in front of him, and you know, clearly his sudden appearance and aggressive aspect quickly has thrown a note of panic amongst Dyer's men, who begin to scatter, screaming in fear and terror as he begins tearing into them. And you can hear his voice echoing up from the veil, Haas, I'll kill you.
All right.
Oh, this is
Their
great.
deaths will buy us time. Keep casting.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, oh God.
All right, here we go.
Give me some pentacles, dude.
We're at plus 2 minutes here.
Jesus. Pentacles. What is that?
What is that? That is
That's-
one of
Yeah.
One.
pentacles. That's a one of
You have
pentacles.
one.
Okay.
Oh, come on. That's a
Does
slap
that
in
mean,
the face.
do we have enough with harmonics yet?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're one short.
Oh my God. A one of pentacles? Do I slip on a banana?
Oh, wait. What am I talking about? That's an ace of pentacles.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
Now we're talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because ace
Okay.
is not one.
Oh
So
my
that counts as
God.
15 points, which
Dude.
is, yeah.
Oh
So
my
you
God.
won't need to use the harmonics then, right? You
Don't
just
need
use-
to
Yeah,
use
you
them.
wouldn't need to use
No,
them.
you're good.
So my sleeve explodes. Again, I have to keep getting new shirts. My sleeve explodes as I magic even harder than I've ever magicked before. And the dude, Andrew, is that his name?
Ooh. Oh, Anton?
Anton, there we go. Old Andrew. Boy, does he look like Haas.
Yep. All right. Yeah, he couldn't look more like Haas. You're seeing double here. It's crazy. So so Count Dracula is tearing through some of these minions. Dyer is backing away. He's drawn his sword, and then suddenly, you see the transformation. Who's got the telescope, by the way? Is it Grant?
It went back to Grant so he could cast his spell.
Okay. So you can see him quite clearly. At which point you are free to pass the telescope to someone else while you try and catch your breath.
I think there'll be
I'm
much
like
telescope passing. Going
Yeah,
on.
I'm like waving it over my shoulder, like whoever wants it, come and get it.
On
It's
our way
like,
here, I tinkered like an air popper so that we can all have popcorn.
I was gonna say, yeah, where's the popcorn?
The potpourri.
Fez is halfway back and the top like lids open and popcorn just starts spilling. It looks like Frederick was going to grab the telescope. He looked pretty excited. So
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like
Oh yeah, I think
don't
we're
know.
all probably going to pass it around. I think for the
Yeah.
most part, we'll be just
I'm kind of like Frederick. Maybe you shouldn't watch an identical clone of yourself get eviscerated by Dracula.
It might be slightly,
That might
traumatic.
it might snap you out of something.
it very well might.
All right, who wants it then?
Yeah, make a sanity test.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like waving it. Whoever wants it.
I'll take a look. I think this will be cathartic, maybe terrifying.
A unique experience, to be
Well,
sure.
you'll know that he thinks you're dead.
That's right.
Maybe like somewhere deep down inside, Frederick is hoping that like Dracula will just forgive fake Haas and like give him a big hug or something. You know?
Let's find out what happens.
All right, yeah.
All right.
Come here, son.
So that is indeed not what happens. You watch
What?
you watch through the telescope as Dracula closes in on Lord Dyer, who clearly has not been briefed by anybody on proper vampiric repulsion techniques. He instead lunges forward with his saber and drives it hilt deep into Dracula's chest, but the vampire merely laughs before he reaches forward and tears open Dyer's throat and begins to drink from his spurting jugular.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Now, as long as he doesn't kill the donkeys, we can come back in the morning, collect all this shit, and go.
Yeah, I don't think we said anything about the gold, right? We just taunted him that we were like camped out there.
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so hopefully he doesn't get curious about those wagons. Like, what's this? Oh, Dracula's gold?
Well, so you watch as he finishes off Dyer. The rest of his men who, weren't otherwise torn apart, fleeing into the woods themselves. Once he's done with that, he does indeed go over to examine the wagon.
Damn it.
It seems like there was only that one chest in it, that they had just dug up. He takes it out as if it were a shoebox, an empty shoebox at that, and carries it back over to the hole, drops it in, recovers it with the turned earth, and then dissolves into mist, which becomes part of the rolling clouds that surround you.
We definitely wait for several
But not
strong
literally
breezes.
surround us, right?
Right, yeah.
Surround or coalesce?
Right.
Yeah. Do I feel any misty fingers closing around my neck at this point?
Old Misty Fingers. That's what we called him. Well, so yeah, we definitely. I'm waiting for a few strong breezes to go through before poking my
I'd even
head
want
up.
to wait for sunup,
Yeah, maybe maybe sunup.
Absolutely
good.
wait for sunup.
Yeah, so we probably just lay down and look at the
Not
sky.
turning my clothes right side out yet. So I'm just
Totally.
Yeah. Haas is going to stare up into the starry sky and think about, seeing his own throat ripped out in front of him, and how strange that is.
Little DD. This won't come back to haunt you tenfold when the spell wears off in 6 months.
No, not at all. That's
Is
for
Haas sitting down for breakfast and then snaps to
Starts
you and starts screaming?
just out of nowhere.
Dude, like when Morty suddenly transforms into a car in the middle of class,
Yeah.
just sitting there minding his business, honk, 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 freaking out.
We now know that Haas is going to get the Lovecraftian ending, where
Definitely.
he goes to a sanitarium and lives out his days.
When he
to be
correlates the
fair,
content.
with the background he wrote for his character, it was always going to happen.
It was
That's
always
true.
headed
There's
that
no
direction,
other
yeah.
option.
Yeah,
But that's something
And
for April Frederick to worry about.
That's right.
Yeah.
of St. George's Eve, is no less.
Yes,
So,
how
yeah.
ironic.
Nice.
And maybe
it's a good silver lining, though, that now Dracula thinks you're dead. So
True.
exactly. So this
That was a good
timeline,
point.
Frederick is spared, which I guess is cold comfort for
Right.
soon to be insane Frederick.
Mhm.
Well, you're sane now, so let's just enjoy the moment.
All right. So basically, yes, you're able to retrieve the gold in the morning, no problem. Transporting it, you have Dyer's wagon and team of draft horses, so you can get it back to Cluj, no problem. You can get it onto the airship, no problem. You can get it back to the Isle of Arran, no problem. You just don't have a time machine now.
Right. That's the kicker. I mean,
Yeah, that is important.
there's nothing we can do about that, though, right? I don't think I can't do anything about time.
Well, we have two options. We can trust that Brexta will eventually get bored of her new time traveling lover and will come back at some point with him, or we can start tinkering.
We
Oh my
could
God.
start tinkering, but by the
Now
time
you-
you're done with the time machine, you'll have caught up to your old time and spent all the gold that you got.
Yeah, basically.
Well, now wait a minute. The time traveler is alive right now.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Is there a way we can track him down?
Not really. No. I mean, yeah, not with the
Brexta's
sorceries
old
you have
boyfriend
access to.
he knew how to contact him.
I mean, Frederick has some experience with the other side, and fairies are pretty detached from the time-space continuum.
Can Katsubu save us?
Only Katsubu can save you now.
Oh, that's the only thing I can think of.
why
Or
don't we
we
do
have-
the Bill
it
and
has
Ted
been a-
thing?
It has been established by David that spells can be cast across the doobly hoobahs of different worlds and timelines. We can contact the time traveler and nothing will go wrong.
That's not a bad idea.
Oh my
Iskander,
god, that is
what
a
would-
bad idea.
Iskander, what were you going to say?
You write a letter to, because you're in the past, so you write a letter to yourself in the future. You know
Right.
what I mean?
The total
Like-
Back to the Future 1 ending, right?
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I know that they were like, they did it a lot in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where they're like, we're just going to remind our future selves to like remember to hide the keys behind this rock. And then,
Right.
And then it's like, oh, here they are.
And,
So we'll write
so
a
you
letter.
write a letter to yourself in the future saying, like, hire someone like, hey, in 2 years, on this date, at this time, intercept these people at this location and give them this letter. And then it says, like, hey, we're stranded in the past after the time traveler thing, blah, blah, blah. And come back and get us on this date and time in the past or whatever.
So
like,
let's
try to affect that time.
So let's write a letter to be delivered to Brexta when we were staying, when we went to Scotland. When we go to Scotland, like the letter is delivered to where is it? What was the island called?
Isle of Arran.
Yeah, the Isle of Arran. Have a letter delivered to Brexta and be like, we're going to be stuck in the past. You're going to be in the future somewhere, but you need to come back and get us on this day at this location.
Ooh.
We'll have to either word it sufficiently that it contains enough information that she believes it, or include some sort of irrefutable artifact that will make her, go
it's
like,
Brexta.
oh,
it's an adventure.
Wow,
If we're like, you will have a time traveling boyfriend. We promise. At this time, come back and get us.
Maybe that's why
We'll
she's so obsessed with meeting the time travelers, because you guys wrote that letter to her.
Oh,
yeah, we started the whole
that's good. I like
I
that.
would feel like we just time traveled.
And it would totally be Brexta not to tell us that we wrote that letter.
Yeah,
exactly.
She just goes through the whole thing like, don't worry.
That's the best thing that's ever happened in a tabletop role-playing game.
Officially.
For real.
All right. I love it. Okay, so you write the letter. Where do you want to meet her?
I guess at Yr's castle or whatever, because the time machine that they go in, it does not move space; it moves time, right?
Yeah.
So we could just be like, "Hey, just come back to this time, and we'll hop in."
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you do that, and at the appointed time and place, indeed, the time machine materializes. Brexta is wearing strange fashions, quite out of your own time period, which she very quickly amends with her glamour to look more era appropriate. And the time traveler gets out looking a little the worse for wear, like he's seen a lot of things he wishes he could unsee. Brexta seems completely unfazed.
Brexta doesn't care about the Morlocks.
Yeah, they did go to 2020.
The Morlocks of 2020.
and so you all pile back in and return to the present of 1871 on the patio, where mere minutes later, by the reckoning of the people who were there, you had just departed with the time traveler.
Love that shit.
And so you avoid, let's see. No, you don't avoid it. There is a paradox now, because Lord Dyer was killed. The flying machine was never built. It never attacked the Duchess Elizabeth. And therefore, technically, you never met.
I knew it.
Our alt timeline people met anyway, though.
That's true.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if are there two versions of us in this timeline now? And if there are, I think Frederick's going to want to get out of Europe.
We're going to America.
Exactly. I think Frederick's like, hey, I hear New York's lovely. Let's
No, so Frederick wants to go to America. I'm half Californian, so I'm like, it would be amazing to see the land of like my mother and stuff like that. And then it's like we freeze frame them, all of us thumbsing up, like while Lowrider plays. And the next time we play Falkenstein, it's in America.
I'm into it.
That's not bad. Yeah. Although, are there two versions of us? Because
Or do we just forget everything when we arrive? Like, is everything erased?
Dude, that would be like my worst fear. Is that like we all get back, and as soon as we get back into the present year, like our memories of each other are wiped, and we're like, "Who are you people?"
No, it's not a Back to the Future style time stream where you'll just be erased from existence. So I think the most logical thing is that either there's a paradox and it's going to cause some weird time shit that you're going to have to fix, but you're the only copies of yourselves, or there are multiple copies of you, multiplicity style. So either way, I like the idea. If we do return to Falkenstein at some point in the future, the second series of books, as it were, will be set in America. I'm all in favor of that.
Yeah.
So and then the time paradox will just be something you'll have to work out in the course of that.
I mean,
it'll never come back to haunt us. It'll
That's I mean, it's next season problem.
Right? Yeah,
it's next season
problem for next season. It's fitting that we don't even know. We're like, what changed? What did we do? And like, it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to keep on going. That's all.
Let's get out of Europe. I like the idea that there's these kind of these versions of ourselves that are totally innocent, that didn't have any of these experiences, that are like going to university and working a job at the embassy and just like totally like la la la,
I also like that the alternate version of Frederick has no idea that Dracula thinks he's dead, and that Dracula thinks he's dead, but there's actually two of him.
Oh Jesus!
It's like Gremlin style. So he's just multiplying.
Totally, yeah.
Right.
Wait, what do I do about my wife?
Well, you see, there are some things. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna have to. Oh God.
So are there two versions of her too?
I don't think so.
One that wasn't rescued and one that was.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's true. Actually,
let's steal your rescued one. That's now the America version. So we're taking that one back. But yeah,
it's a historical fact that 18% of immigrants who moved to America, it was because of time paradoxes. So that's actually a fact. Sorry.
It's like a checkbox. No, on the form when we arrive at freaking Ellis Island or whatever.
Reason for immigration. Time paradox.
Work, leisure, time paradox. So if that's the case, I mean, however that pans out, Grizzly's like, we gotta fix this. I can't lose my wife.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that.
I'm too old to get a new one.
That we know we have to get out of Dodge, but she's actually married now to like the stupid steam.
Yeah, it's Assmouth. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think there's some obscure lodge that actually specializes in time magic, so that would be interesting to look into.
Oh man, talk about cliffhangers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not so obscure, actually. It's the Mystic Lodge at the Temple of Ra. Okay.
So that would be the cliffhanger. Then it would be like, we all are like, we made it. We did it, guys. Oh, amazing. We head back to the castle, and then Grant heads to his room and to tell his wife all about the adventure. And Lord McElroy's like, well, sir, you came here alone.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it zooms in on Grant's face, and then it zooms out, and we're a marble in an alien locker room.
All right. Well, I like that. That's a suitably weird ending.
Fucking sick.
But crazy. Yeah, mission accomplished. You got the gold, so the Black Lady is able to buy back the allotments on the Isle.
We fucked the whole world so that they could save a little shitheel castle on an island in Scotland.
Well, but you'll forever have allies on this island. I mean, this is like,
thank goodness.
Yeah, you've got a Scottish lord and a banshee who've got your back. So,
holy shit.
Yeah.
True. Gotta look on the bright side.
You got to look at what you got.
Yeah, man. Focus on what you can do, not what you can't.
Jesus.
All right. Well, there you go. That's Castle Falkenstein.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, we did it. We finished a game.
Yay.
We made a plan all in one session.
Amazing.
Carried it out.
Yeah.
And Grant actually got 2 spells off successfully.
I feel like my spell casting should level up after that.
I tend to agree. Actually,
Yeah.
I think it should bump up to exceptional at this point.
Damn. What a
Most
journey.
importantly, did we get Fez back?
Ooh.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, good.
Did he make it back before we left?
Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
packing up
Okay.
the donkeys, and he was like scuttling down the way.
Yeah. It
Of
took
course, he
until,
makes all
like,
those.
morning.
He makes all those cute little droid noises, like some sidekick animal from an '80s movie. You know,
Totally.
Yeah.
Calls me Dr. Jones.
it's like the owl from Clash of the Titans. You know?
Yeah, you go up to your
Boobo.
room, and your wife isn't there because she doesn't exist in this timeline. And he goes, "No time for love, Doctor."
I'm like,
And that's the freeze frame and thumbs down.
And then Lowrider starts playing.
yeah. Then he clicks out an opposable film freeze frame. Jesus.